What's up, chat? What's up, YouTube? This is the New Podcast, episode 200. 200. 200. How many weeks is that, boys? Almost, or how many years? Almost 4 years. Almost 4. Those 4 years, 52 would be 100. 208. 208 would be 4 years. We're at 200 shows. Who has been here for all of them? Probably none of you sickos, but I've been here for all of them. Me, talking about good old Madden. Good old John Madden football. Is it worth the stress? Is it worth this passion, boys? Good old John Madden and life. It is almost NBA playoff time. Dame Lillard has put out a new album. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Dame Lillard put out a new album. I don't know if you guys picked that up. You know, he did not play the rest of the year because his team sucked and they were in the playoffs. But he put out a new album. New verse from Dame. Make sure you guys check that out. You know. Make sure you guys check that out. It's important to do, man. You gotta support people at all their endeavors, you know. You know, when I start dropping my verses, are you guys want to watch my verses? That's what I want to know. Are you guys want to watch my verses, or are you just want to dismiss my verses? But we are in the midst of what is today's date, April something, 2023. People would say this is the Madden dead time. I would tend to agree, boys. I would tend to agree. I also heard today golden tickets suck. And be honest, golden tickets have sucked for a long time. They have been underwhelming. Golden tickets ever since, honestly, let me tell you something about golden tickets. Ever since they got rid of 100 plus subs, dude, or 100 plus, speaking of subs, Tucci with 5 gifted, my man. Ever since they got rid of 100 plus stats, kind of underwhelming. Am I right or am I wrong? The golden ticket was special with the 102 speed, right? So golden tickets are kind of washed, I'm just glad people are enjoying still pulling packs here in April. You know, I'm glad they're doing that. But it is the 200th episode. Do you guys have any fond memories of 200 episodes in the books? 200. You know, we've had a lot of people on the show. We've had a lot of belt winners on the show. We've had a lot of tournament winners on the show. We've had Maddie on the show. You know, kind of wild. We've had play breakdowns. We've had tournament game breakdowns, wins, losses, draws, everything. We've had jokes and hijinks all the time. Madden 23 is kind of washed. And we will definitely talk about that with the 3-time Skimbo about Madden. Hopefully you guys can chime in with your Madden takes. You know, because it's important. You guys are important when it comes to Madden. My man Weed in 63 months. I used to be a believer in that only good players can comment about the game, and they only good players matter when it comes to game takes and gameplay and stuff like that. But now I've changed. All you guys matter. You know, you guys got to play. This year, let me know something that if you guys aren't playing, the game is not popping. So for me, I'm definitely changing my vibe on that one, boys, for the most part. But the NBA playoffs are going to start. Joel Embiid is going to win MVP. My biggest fear is that Embiid will not be in the playoffs anymore when they award him MVP. And to be honest, Jokic was not in the playoffs last year. They had to ship the MVP to goddamn wherever he's from. Remember, he was home. He wasn't in the playoffs anymore, you know. So I'm worried about that. It'd be kind of embarrassing, but you know. And people ask, why do the Sixers fans want to win the MVP so bad? Because we're not going to win the championship. We got to get some dub here in the process here, all right? No, the shitters do matter in Madden because you guys play, and if you guys aren't playing, we can't be successful, you know? So if you guys are bored of Madden, what are you going to do? You're going to go play Call of Duty, you're going to go play 2K, or you're going to go outside, which is actually stupid, but you might go outside, you know? Rocco 200. My man Juicy is in the building. Love to see it. Juicy, you are a lord. Zrill is in the building. Yeah, outside is just foolish. Outside is actually. No, I don't think the Sixers can win. I don't think their offense is good enough. I don't think their defense is good enough. I don't think they're physical enough. Their bench sucks. And honestly, I think the Celtics and the Bucks are the two best teams in the NBA. I don't feel like it's a you know, like the Sixers should win against those teams. I really don't. I think the Sixers have the best player. Well, I think Giannis is the best player, but the Sixers have a superstar. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Lane, my man? I appreciate you. But anyway, Dame got a new verse. I mean, maybe we could listen to it. I think we listen to Dame's verse. Oh, I think Skimbo would like to hear Dame Lillard's verse too, though. Hold on. I think Skimbo would like to hear James Lillard's verse. I like Harden. I don't know what happened with Jimmy. I blame everything on Ben Simmons. I do. I blame everything on Ben Simmons. So that's pretty much where that goes. But Skimbo would definitely like to hear James Harden voice or verse for sure. Let's see what the 3-time has to say about James Harden or Dame Lillard's voice here, boys. His verse. Yo, are you ready to listen to Dame Lillard's verse?
Yep, most loyal guy in the NBA.
Are you ready to listen to his verse? We're going to put it on here. I know you're a big Dame Lillard guy, as I don't know if you realize, but he quit the last 20 games of the season because his team didn't make the playoffs. He quit. He was like, I don't want to play no more.
Yeah, that's loyalty. Yeah.
He said, I don't want to play anymore.
Let me hear the verse.
I got to find it. Hold on. It's in here somewhere. Let me type it in. I didn't listen to it yet. I really wasn't. It really wasn't on my to-do list. Dame Lillard freestyle.
I'm a big Dame Lillard fan. He stayed true to Portland. He want to win it when he's there. I like that. Respect.
All right.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good too, bro.
All right. That's the chat loved it. The chat, listen. Your boy Matty Ice loved it. He loved it. Juicy loved it.
Hold up. My boy Matty Ice?
He's still banned? You guys haven't squashed your squabbles?
No, he's modded. He's modded up now.
Oh, he's back?
He's back.
That's good to see, man. Listen,
Yeah.
I want to ban Matty, but he's here all the time. In fact, he actually watched the Sixers game with us yesterday, even though in Canada they don't get the NBA, and he just sat in the chat room where he couldn't even watch, but he was just there. So he earned a lot of mod credit, which he'll probably run through by tonight.
Right. Yeah.
But all right, so the 3-time Michael Skimbo. You are, for me, obviously one of the best Madden players ever. The best player that I played, without a doubt. So how has it been to continue to live up to that billing the last couple years? Is how I'll start, as I lost my notebook. But go ahead.
Oh, it's been tough. I mean, I've had heartbreaking losses. I've been pretty close to making live events, pretty close to winning $30,000. It's just it's a completely different animal trying to be a competitive Madden player and stream at the same time. It's like people think it's easy, but it's just not. I mean, I already just say it. Like for example, Henry tried for 1 month, and on paper he's like the greatest MCS maybe ever. Madden player on paper. Like you look at all of it, like no one's close to it. He tried it for like a month or two, and the only live event he missed was when people got to see he was human for a month, and then they saw he throws picks too. That's why I always said like about myself, like, dude, like you knew this before I started streaming. Like, I'd be throwing picks. I'd be human as hell. It's just, I think that has a lot to do with it. You see someone make mistakes, you actually think you can beat them. So people saw that, and he just barely came up short.
When you see the juggernaut, having, I guess, holes in the game, or just human, or just.
You see him throw a Stevie, that's when he was running nickel normal and someone was running nickel normal on him, and he tries to throw a flat route and just gets pick six. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he gets screamed at and throws a Stevie. You know, it happens to everyone.
All right, let's start. Now you are, I mean, to my knowledge, you're Oklahoma forever. That's been your birthplace in your life, right? How did
Facts.
we get into Madden? I know of this more than these guys do, but how did Madden become a big part of your life?
I don't even know when to start. It all kind of happened at the same time. Like, I didn't really play video games in high school. Parents were huge on sports. Get an athletic scholarship, get your college paid for, which I did through baseball and academics. And then when I was out there, you know, I grinded. This sounds really bad, but I grinded more trying to be good at sports in high school than I did when I went to college. When I went to college, I lived the college lifestyle, you know, partied a lot, all that bullshit, hung out with friends. But the hot game in the dorm rooms, and I had no Xbox, no nothing, was Madden. I mean, that was what, you know, you would go into one of the dorm rooms and it was, you know, playing for $10, like, you know, bragging rights in the dorm rooms. It was cheap. And then I would come home for Christmas break and I would steal my cousin's Xbox because he always bought the new Madden every year and I would grind on that. And then I just became addicted to the game, trying to be a rank goon. Before I even knew competitive Madden was a thing, I was just trying to be a top 100 Madden player on ranked. And then I played for money, and then I learned something called a nano blitz. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. When you get screamed at for the first time, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening in this game? And
Mm-hmm.
it's your eyes just kind of open. Like, I think like there's two type of people. Either you're gonna quit or you're gonna learn what's going on, and you're gonna want to do it yourself. And I saw someone do it to me, and I was like, I want to be able to do this too to someone. Like, this is good. And
Right.
also at the same time, like, I want to be able to stop it. Like, I want to be able to counter it. And that's kind of how my mindset's always been, even before I even knew competitive Madden was a thing. And that's just kind of where it led off. And then I remember Madden 13 loading screen playing with my boys. It said, win $1 million through Virgin Gaming. And I was like, what is this? And then, you know, that ended up being the tournament problem one. And then that's really what got me into it because I got on Virgin Gaming and I would play $3. I was known as $3 Skimbo, you know? Like people thought I was good and those dudes, it's kind of how people are now. Play me for 20, play me for 100. I remember I would be like, I'll play you for $3.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was me. Like I won't go over $7. Like I'm cool with playing for $3. And then Madden 25 hit, and that was like my first full Madden ever was Madden 25, and playing on. Then I started playing for more money, and then I discovered underground tournaments, ATL Gamer Society. Obviously heard about Boogs at the time was winning those, Mo was winning all those. Like I looked up the YouTube videos, went to a tournament, and then in Madden 15, they did the whole entire T-Raw thing, all that, blah blah blah. It was kind of like the launch, like what is Ultimate Team. And then Madden 16 comes around and they make the huge announcement. We're doing this tournament for winner gets $20,000 through a mode called Draft Champions. And it was the preview show. And I remember Problem was on there. Shugs was on there. Mo was on there. It was an invite only. And then if you weren't invited, you had to go through the grind. And I remember I was number one and number two. I was number one or number two on PlayStation that whole grind. And I remember hopping on Xbox, and that's actually where I learned about your name was through Madden 16 when I had two accounts. Because it's not like Ultimate Team, you could just make it, you could
Oh
play
yeah.
on two systems,
Damn.
you could do that. It was Draft Champions. It wasn't worth any money. It was just,
Mm-hmm.
it was really $10 for your coins, and you're good to go forever if you win.
Yeah.
And I remember going through that grind and coming up short in the first belt game over to Mo. And then honestly, after that, the rest was history. Just competitive Madden was a thing after that tournament. I've had some heartbreaking losses. I've had some really good wins, and that's just part of it. And I mean, I'm still doing it. So there you go, or trying to do it, I guess.
All
Haven't
right,
done it good
now
lately.
Madden 16 to Madden 20 was like your peak, like sweat. Like you didn't care about anything but competing, right? Like that was like almost life for
Nothing.
the most part, right?
Nothing. I remember when I would create an ebook, you did it for me. Like I didn't want to do it. Like
Yeah.
I remember you would sit me down and say, "Just keep talking. We're gonna sell it." And I'm like, "Okay." I didn't even want to do that. It was just I had a good lifestyle then, man. I would coach from 2 to 4, those little 2 hours, and then if it wasn't those 2 hours, bro, I was in the dungeon, dog, playing 12 hours a day every day, and it was convenient though because I mean, it would be the same way now if we still had those leaderboards. If we still had those leaderboards, it would be the same shit. I would
Oh,
be
that'd
in
be
this
great.
dungeon all the time. We would be playing hell game after hell game because I'm sure we'll talk about it later. Now Madden's like a little bit more cliquish. It's who you know, it's what crew you're in. Because like back then when you were trying to be a top four player, bro, you got to go all the way to group stage. People weren't holding back to be a top four on the system
Mm-hmm.
because you got to skip single elimination. You only had to win 2 games to make the live event if you made it to groups. Sometimes you could get lucky and just win 1 game and make it to the live. So, so yeah, that's how it would be now if we still had leaderboards, but we don't have leaderboards now, and it's really all about who you know. It used to not be like that. People used to ask me, "Do you need to be in a crew?" And I always told them no. I was like, "Not really," but man, you know what? My opinion has changed as the years have gone on and the state of Madden we're in now. That's times have changed, man. They really have.
Okay, so now what was I say? Man, 16. As you talk about how it's changed so much, obviously, I think it's super harder now than it was in 5 years ago for the most part. What are some examples that you think how it's changed so much?
Well, I'll be honest, and I say this to people. I'm not trying to gas you up. I think you feel it's harder now, Debbie, because you're so busy on content. I bet you if you took a step back from content and joined a crew and played like you used to play back in the day, I bet you would have. I think we both know you would have a lot different results because when you lock in, you're really good. Like I'm not just saying that to say that. I always tell people that because people see you as just why they watch, goofy, all that. I'm like, people don't know. I was like, when he locks in, he's actually really good. And I think you feel that way just because you're trying to balance. I do believe competitive Madden is harder now than what it used to be. I do believe that. I remember I used to get crucified by Mo for saying that. I was like, I would tell him, I was like, dog, when you were winning, I was like, these kids are better now than when you were winning. And now, and I'll be honest, maybe they're better now than they were when I was winning, right? Like I'm a realist. Like I'm not biased. I'm a realist. That could possibly be a thing. But I mean, is it harder now? I think it's harder now for us. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I couldn't imagine if me and you took a step back from content and joined a crew and lab. I don't know. Who knows how our opinion would be? But for the state that we're in, yeah, it's harder. It's harder to win right now for sure.
Shoot. All right, let me. I know, obviously, you kind of got. I feel like your career is kind of two different. From Madden 16 to Madden 20, where you were the best player ever, and from there to now. Now, if I asked you this, if you could change like one play in that 4 years of your prime, or one game, what's the one play you think back and look, I wish I did this differently on that one play? Because I know I have a lot of them, but I don't know if you have any like this
Yeah,
one play I would change or this one game I would play better. Is there
I
one
think
do you think
I
could really
actually
change your career?
I actually think I have a shot at winning the Madden 20 Club Championship if I beat Joke in that game. I had a money drive. I mean, he scored on a crazy fourth down after me stopping him over and over again. He runs it on 4th and 5, and somehow my hit stick missed. At the end of the day, bro, if you were to tell me I had the ball with, I think it was like 40 seconds from the 30 with 2 timeouts, and I think that's before runoff clock, and I was down 2, and I had 2 timeouts, and all I needed was a field goal. I would tell you that shit was cake. Like even if I felt bad, like I would have found a way, and I didn't. I think if I win that game, I'll be honest. Like I played Volt a lot, and he won it, and me and him would go back and forth, and I was very. No one was really familiar with that shit that he was doing, but that would have been a really good game because I was, and so I would have to get through Draney, which obviously Draney is really good. That was the year he ran the what we call it, the X, when he would have like 2 long crossing routes or posts. Like
Bro,
by the time, I mean, I would sack him by the time he even got that play off because I'm always sending the 146 at all times. But yeah, it would probably be that game, man. I think that was like, I think I had a really good chance of winning the $100,000.
all right. And what about the last 4 years from Madden 20 or well Madden 22 the last what is it the last 2 years I guess what's the play that, like, damn, I wish I could have changed up, even if you like got cheated, like what play do you think, damn, if this play changed it would have been way different?
I mean, there's just too many to count, dude. I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna give you a play. I don't. There's just so many heartbreaking losses I've taken the last couple years in these big games. It's just, it's like no excuses though. Like, people hate what is it? Throw out of sack picks. I had a couple of those that they could have dropped, but I also know if I get rid of the ball faster, that never happens. So I take responsibility for that. A couple times I was bagged on fourth downs. Um, Obviously, we talked about this. Streaming definitely does not help on that. But I did miss some reads on some big fourth downs. And obviously, when I played, I was so hot in that LCQ game, and I lose to Canes. You know, I would have loved to have been in the big tournament for that. That would have been fun. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, now talk about what has changed in your life when you've put in this effort into streaming. Like, what has changed the most from Madden? What was it, Madden 21? The last 3 Maddens you've been a streamer, right? What has changed the most as opposed to before then? Is it your daily routine, or is it just the fact that everybody's watching you? Like, what has changed in your life?
Dude, I don't want to. I sound like a broken record because sometimes I get in the heat of the moment I'm streaming, I get pissed, but I'll break this record like one more time. Like, people don't realize, like, EA used to patch me sometimes during the year, but they definitely patched me at the end of the year. Like, how many times did they take out a play when the season was over that I ran? I could name it multiple times. Madden 16, they caught wind of me doing the speed burst glitch off the sideline when I used to motion out. There would be a speed burst, and I would get an instant touchdown. I remember 2 days before the live tournament, they patched that shit, and they made it where once you did it, they reset to their original route. So if you snapped it wrong, if he was on a streak, whatever route he was on, he would run it. So I think it's going to be a streak, and unfortunately, he runs a hitch, and I have him on a streak because I snapped it wrong. The biggest difficult is, I mean, dude, it's just like I mean, honestly, I just get patched during the year. I mean, not just once, but probably twice a year, and it hurts. I mean, I remember the clear out bombs I had in Madden 21 and Madden 22. They all got patched. And then the stupidest, I can understand those, but one of the stupidest things I ever saw was when the man meta was so good this year, we had an unbumpable fade that helped beat man to man. They saw me run it, and they took it out. It's like, what? Like, this is good that this beats man, and then the next patch comes and it no longer works all of a sudden, and it's just stupid, and it's just, I mean, man, like I said earlier, like, people don't realize how hard it is to stream and make it to a live or do good. You know, they don't realize it. Like I said, on paper, the greatest MCS player ever, Henry, he couldn't even do it, right? And he tried it, and he didn't, and he was 1 game short. I mean, it's just hard to do, man. People, like, a lot goes into it, you know. So, and I would also say, like, after you're done streaming, I think you know this, like, you're so tired. Like, you just want to relax. You want to spend time with your family. Like, you just get done. Essentially, we talk to the chat, but we're talking to ourselves. You know, I do it for 4 to 5 hours. You do it for 6 to 7 hours, and we're playing the game. We're trying to get better and we're trying to make content because when we're done, like, that's the last thing we want to do, hop on Madden. But before I started streaming, dog, I would be in Discords playing the game 12 hours a day. I would have your stream up, problem stream up, and I would just be taking notes all day. Like, I remember being in a Discord with people like, I'll say it, like Duke and these dudes that used to help me be really good at the game. They would say, hey, this dude's playing on stream right now. Get in there right now. Like, that was me before I started streaming. Like, okay, I'm in there. Like, it's not like that no more. Now I'm that guy. So there you go.
It's a life cycle. Well, I always wanted to stream because they told me you could make money, so I said, okay,
Right.
That was no brainer for me.
I mean, obviously, you know, the money's good if you're successful at it. But I mean, I think you know how crazy I get sometimes, competitive, probably too much. It does piss me off. I hate it. I hate that I haven't done good lately. You know, it's like, because, you know, some people see how happy I am on stream, like, oh, he doesn't even care anymore. I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It's like, dude, this shit still means everything to me. Like, I want to stop streaming so I can maybe have that edge again. Because, like, W, answer this question. My scheme in Madden 18, I won a belt. If I stream that, do I win a belt running that scheme?
No, I think the way you play is robotic, and actually, like, it's almost like you're like the worst play style to stream. Honestly, I feel that way because it's not organic. What you do is very, it's systematic. You got this to do this against that. And if someone knows that, it's not that, it's not crazy You know, it's not crazy. Defensively, it's still always gonna be tough, but offensively, it's really not, you know, tough to scheme for if you watch it enough. Now, I always said, man, the first time I always played you every single year, I was like, it's kind of like, oh shit, you know, you kind of get popped like bad right the first time, but then like as the year goes on, it's like, all right, this is kind of shitty. All right, dude, you know, but that first time, and so I think your play style is anti-stream, like to another level of anti-stream. You know, that's how
Just
I feel.
it's just a lot working against me, you know, that getting patched, people scouting all the time, I don't want to make too many excuses. I know I can still get it done. I mean, dude, I've been one game away like 2 or 3 times. I've been 2 games away 2 or 3 times. I mean, I'm right there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally right there. And I've caught some really bad breaks too. Normally, I'm the type of guy that pat my chest and say it's my fault, but I have caught some pretty bad breaks, and I just, eventually they'll come back around.
That's how it works. You know, so sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail.
Yeah.
I would say. All right. Now, you did talk about Henry being the on paper greatest player ever. I got to ask you about your top 5. Do you still think you're the best player ever? Where are you at on your Skimbo top 5 Madden players of all time?
I ain't got a top 5. I only do top 3s.
All right, well then do a top 3.
All right, me, myself, and I.
Okay, that's your top
Yep.
3.
That's my top 3. I don't. Here's my thing, W. Like, when I'm done playing, like, then I'll do like these stupid lists. But like, I don't get how people are so comfortable with saying people are better than them. Like, that's like I can't do that. Like, on Twitter, someone wins something, like whether it was me, Drini, Problem, Henry, he's the GOAT, he's the greatest. Like, bro, if I ever said that, I would want slapped across the face. I can't say someone's better than me, even if maybe they are. Like, what? Like, fuck that shit. Like, I can't do that. So like, I'm sorry, as much as you wanted me to give you a list, dude, I'm just not going to. I can't do it. I really
But
can't.
all right, at what points does somebody accomplishments get to the point where you can do that?
When I'm done playing.
That's it, and you just all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, when
Say
I'm
no
done.
more. There it is. All right, now I'll give you a sentence here, and you got to
Okay.
finish the sentence. It's like, Skimbo wins another belt if. How does that sentence finish? What needs to happen for you to win
If I
another
put
belt
it,
next year?
if I put in the time, even if I stream, if I put in the time, I think I can. I believe I can still do it, even if there's scouting reports on me. Uh, um, like I, I just haven't put in the time. I put in time, but like you already know, like I'm trying to surround myself, with other people, because like you got a family. I mean, think about it, W. My top lab partner the last 2 years is user. It was user. Like, think about that. That's been my number one lab partner the last 2 years, dog. It was user. I talked to him on the phone about it. I was like, dude, you've been my top lab partner the last 2 years, user. I was like, when I was on at night, like you was streaming, he would get on. You streaming when I lab, right? It doesn't work out for us. But I'm trying to. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm in. They give me a hard time, but I'm kind of with Astro and John Beast. Like when the year starts, I'm gonna lock in with those guys. I love how they play the game. I think they see the game kind of how I see it in a way, on certain aspects, just of how they play. And it's just funny, man, because we're getting old, right? You're gonna say I'm young. We always say someone's young when we're older, but I'm gonna turn 32 next year. But I'm just gonna say, bro, I really am dedicating my life back to Madden for one more year. Like, I'm talking absolute dedication. I won't be going out like I did this year. A lot of personal stuff went on with me, and I just wanted to get out of the house. But by the time the next Madden rolls around, I'm going to be literally like, I'm gonna be no lifing at 32 years old. Like, I like to say it because it sounds terrible, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. So. Madden drops. I'm gonna be putting in a lot of time, man. A lot of time on that game, all the time. I'm still gonna do 4 hours of stream every day, but I'll go rest for like an hour or two and then hop on the game for about 8 hours when I'm done.
Okay, now I know you're very untrustworthy of these kids. So how you feel about that? I know you're like you are like in Mr. Antitrust. Like it takes you a lot to be like, yo, I trust this guy. This is the one.
I mean, I really only trust like 3 people, and they're all fucking old. I mean, sorry, but I mean, you guys are all busy. You guys are all doing things. So like, I talk to them and good conversation, and you know what, man, like it's gonna be okay. I even if I even if say I do get backstabbed, you know what? They've been cool for 5 years. They've been cool with me for 1 year. I would actually tell them I ain't tripping. Like I would literally tell them that because I think something I take pride in is being unbiased and not let my feelings get into that stuff. I would literally tell them like we can still be boys, but I get it. Like that's your day one. Like I understand. Like I appreciate y'all getting me to this point is what I would say because without y'all, I'm not really at this point. So that's how I look at that.
All right, now we talked about top 5 ever. Well, I mean, we didn't really talk about it. But, all right, give me, in this MCS era for men 16 and now, give me somebody that you think is overrated and somebody you think is underrated, Madden player-wise, in the last 8 years or so.
Oh, my God.
Because you kind of view Madden players different than the consensual.
Yeah, I don't think any. I don't think there's any good Madden players. I think there's like 5 good Madden players. Mm-hmm. And a couple make some runs here and there. They get lucky. Because like I watch them play and I'm just like blown away. But like I said, it all comes down to like the lab work that they put in. Like you can tell they know stuff about the game. That's just like some people don't. Oh my God, dude! I wish you would have asked me this before the stream. There's no one that comes to my mind that is just like underrated. Like, dog, I can't answer that question, my G. Like, what? Like, there's so many Mad players. Like, overrated. You set me up on the overrated for sure. I don't even.
That's a pretty common question. You know.
It's a setup, though. It's a setup.
It's a good question. The chat has answers.
Give me some names. I really don't know who, man. Give me some names. I wish I knew. I really don't have anyone. This ain't my style though. Like people like, oh, it's like, oh, talk some shit or oh, like do this, do that. Like, dude, I've always stayed in my own lane, but I don't know.
No Mercy Lambo, definitely overrated, bro. Definitely. Nah, Lambo's a man.
I'm looking at some of the names. I think Astro's underrated. I mean, I don't think people know Astro's good, but I think like, dude, sometimes I watch him play and I'm like, this dude's the best offensive player in the world when I watch him play sometimes. That's a name. That's probably why I have so much respect and want to like probably play Madden, you know what I mean? Like lab up with him. So yeah, I would definitely I would say Astro, even though there's a lot of I think there's a lot of respect on Astro's name, but like I legit watch Astro play offense and I'm just like, dog. Like, he's throwing shit that doesn't even look open. And I think of me. Remember when people used to say, Skimbo's blind. Skimbo's blind. It used to piss me off. I'm like, I'm not blind. Like, this stuff's open. Like, if I was blind, I was like, it would be getting picked. Oh, I'm catching it every time. Like, how is it blind? And that's kind of like when I see him, he throws some stuff. I'm like, what did he just throw? So, I would go with Astro. I don't know who's overrated, though. I mean, I
all right, well, let me ask you this. Next year, you don't even know how the game plays, right? Who is one person you guarantee you're going to beat no matter what? Like, this person has not – my whole life I've beat this one player. I've got his number no matter what. Who is that player that you're like, all right, this dude I'm beating? It doesn't even have to – I mean, obviously users on the list, but, it doesn't have to be no crazy, competitive person. But, like –
why you like – you know what's funny? Like, you trying so hard to get me to answer these questions, but I'm not going to. Like, I'm not. Dubby. You know I'm not. Like – that's not how I do things. You know that. Like, right. Why you try it? Like, I'm lame. Questions. I've always been lame.
Okay.
You know this. Like,
I mean, we got to try. I feel like these are good questions.
You know this, though. And you also know no name comes to my mind, though. No name really comes to my mind. I always just worry, like, what's at stake? Like, who's ahead of me? Who am I about to play? Like, I think when people get caught up in that shit, that's like their downfall when people think about that stuff too much. Never been that way.
You could have.
I wish I could say I'm like putting on a front
all day. Like you could say somebody that lurks you on ranked all day. You ain't have to say like somebody crazy. Is there
Dude, I ain't
anybody
got
you
a
wouldn't
name.
want to see? All right, I'm looking at a bracket of Madden tournaments. Is there anybody you don't want to see?
Bro, there's a lot of names I don't want to. Okay, there's a couple names I don't
All
want to
right,
see.
all right. There you go. All right,
Yeah. That's it. That's all we're gonna say. I
all
don't want
right.
them to know. I don't want them to know that I said their name. The fuck? Like, come on. I don't need to give anyone extra like motivation or an edge on me. Like, come on, dog. Come
All
on,
right,
dog.
all right. This one's done. How can you improve as a Madden player from now to next year? What is something like I gotta get better at this? Is there something that you can pinpoint to say I gotta get better at this or something like that? Is there something specific?
More combos. More combos. If I'm gonna stream, I have to have more combos. More route combos, more plays, run the ball more, throw to my running back more has always been an issue for me all my life, except for Madden 17, and that's when I was the best in the world, is when I would wear out the running back. More combos. That's about it, man. Like I said, like before I started streaming, I could get away with running 2 plays all game, 3 plays all game, because like when people say you stream, I'm like, dude, when people would stream, I would tell you what they're gonna run on 4th down. Like if I watched myself play and I had to study like myself, I would say every 4th down and 2. I'm going to run this play. Every 4th and 8, this play is coming every time. Like every time. So I would say more combos.
Okay. Okay. Now, same question, but do you think about how can I improve as a streamer and a content person in the same light as you do? How can I improve as a man player? What do you got to do to improve in that field?
Ooh. I mean, I think that's an ongoing battle every day, you know what I mean? Like you I know the answers and I'm not doing it. I mean, stay consistent on stream. Obviously, always be consistent. Do a schedule. I do that, but like do TikTok, do YouTube, get more eyes because like I said, I got so many stories of dudes seeing a TikTok and I saw you from a TikTok, then they hit the sub button and they become, part of the community. And then YouTube same way and just continue to do that stuff. And like I said, that kind of cuts into my competitive time though. But, it's like it's a grind, man. People don't realize like trying to do both is a complete grind. Like trying to do both. Like doing one is a grind, but if you're trying to do both at a high level the right way. Cuz like I remember like users mindset and those dudes mindset was like, "Yeah, boot up a stream, bro. You'll be good." I'm like, and then after like me and you working together and looking at stuff like streaming ain't enough. Like this ain't enough. Like we got to get more eyes in here. How do we get our view count to here? How do we get our sub count to here? Like what do? We need to do YouTube. We need to get YouTube over here, and then vice versa. Get Twitch to YouTube. Just continue to do that stuff. Something I did not do very well this year. Just working on stuff like that.
Now, I would tell you, you can't do both completely, right? They're both full-time
Yeah.
jobs. I feel like they're
Yeah.
both completely full-time jobs. So they can't be completely, attacked the proper way. You can't do both. You can do both. I hate when people say you got to choose one or the other. You can do both, but
You
properly,
can do both.
it's
You
too
can do
hard to do
both.
both.
You can do both at a good level, pretty good level. But as far as like a really high level,
Yeah.
that's just like almost impossible.
You're always going to be at a disadvantage one or the other if you're doing both. That's what I mean. There's always going to be somebody working harder than you, like getting better at the game. There's always going to be somebody putting out more videos and content than you if you're have both foot in one way, Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you, what has streaming these last 3 years taught you about yourself or taught you about Madden? Have you learned anything about yourself or Madden in general in these last couple of years?
Well, I do remember when I first started streaming. I didn't realize how many people actually rooted for me. I remember that was pretty blessed. My first year streaming, all these people, a lot of people are used to it now, and that's great. I'm glad. It feels good, feels part of the routine. But I remember when I first started, just all the DMs that I used to get, messages in the Twitch chat, thank you for streaming, blah 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 blah, and that meant a lot to me. I didn't realize how many people really supported me like that and rocked with me like that. So that was a really good feeling. Man, just honestly developing relationships with people has been good, even though I've never met them, right? Never met them. That's like the weirdest thing with what we do that our real life friends might not understand is that right there. But like developing relationships with some people in the chat that come in and just check in every day, say what's up. because we talk to them more than we talk to people in person,
Oh
just
yeah.
about like our best friends. Like people, I don't know if the chat realizes that, but my best friends in high school, I talk to y'all more than I talk to them. Like,
Oh yeah.
so it's like, it's just like it's a blessing. It really is. And that's just kind of what I've learned the last 3 years is like you got real supporters that will support you. Obviously, they want to see you win, but they hurt when you lose. And you know this because we talked about this. Like you almost don't even want to do it for yourself anymore. You almost want to share a victory with them, right? The
Yeah.
people that are in your stream or in your comments or that are in your DMs. You almost want to do it so you can have a big party with them, and that's probably the most I've learned the last 3 years is just that relationship alone. Not everyone's gonna love you though. Some people don't love me. I get trolls all the time. People, I get that all the time. But to the people that do rock with me, it's been awesome.
Yeah. Do you feel like the chat always roots for you to win at all times still?
Fuck no, hell no,
No?
because I don't. No, because the only reason why I tune into people's stream is to watch them lose. Like I turn into your CFM games to watch you lose. I
No, no, no,
tune
no,
into
no, no, no,
your
no, no.
yeah. No, I do.
The
I turn into your
CFM, no, my shitty CFM is the only one where they actually root for me because the team is so shit.
Right, right, right,
They
right.
actually,
Well, right.
the
You're
chat
right
roots.
because you're
The
actually
good
going. You're
ones,
right.
yeah,
You're
the
right.
good ones, yeah, they might not, yeah, they want me to lose every game.
And this
There's
is gonna
no
sound
desire.
bad too. I want to see you lose an MLB the Show, but I want to see Eddie do good. Right? I get behind. Like I believe in
What
Eddie.
type of
The
backwards
other
ass
car.
comment is that?
I mean, I root for Eddie. Like Eddie. Eddie is heart. Eddie is soul. Eddie is him. But the other team you bought with your stubs. You're not a no money spent grinder. I
I'm not a
I can't
grinder.
respect you for buying your team. But now Eddie is the foundation of the team, though. I root for Eddie. I don't root for the other people on your team.
No, I think the chat roots for me to win an MLB. They want me to like get pissed off, but I think they root for me to win. They be hyped when I win an MLB. I'll be honest, man. Man is draining for you. It's probably draining for you. Like, yo, you talk about the chat don't give a shit if we win games of Madden. They don't even like, bro. It's like I'll be like, damn, I just made a crazy play, and I look at the chat. They talking about some dumb shit, or there is no excitement from when
hate
you win.
that.
And
I hate.
like I'm like, damn, I just made a crazy play. I just clutched up on this
Well,
random in my head. It was crazy tough, and nobody gives a
hey,
shit about
hey,
winning.
hold
Like
up,
they don't even
hold
care
up,
anymore.
hold up, hold up. My chat cares. This is the difference between our chats. My chat cares when I do that stuff. Your chat is still talking about bullshit.
Yeah,
Like they're talking about like I like you see me comment. I'll be like, that's nice. You know what I mean? Like I see it and I read the chat just talking about shit that doesn't even relate to the game. And I'm just like, what? Like this dude just did this to this person. Like no one's saying wow. It's like, nah, man. F him, like F Jokic, F
yeah,
Embiid. Yeah,
yeah.
it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Because you be and honestly, what's bad, it'd be like that sometimes in your MCS games. Sometimes. Like I'm like, come on, like, what?
Yeah, they're sickos. They're sickos. But
They
that's
are
when
sick.
you get to that point when the chat is its own, like the chat is its own breathing, living thing, and you don't gotta do too much. You just click it on and they go. Honestly, and boom, they're
Yeah,
out.
but without the chat, we are nothing. So you know that. Without the boys, we are nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything you're going to change to your streaming life next year? I mean, you said you're going to full send
Yeah, more
Madden. Does that?
rerolls. More rerolls. Did you see the eggs got rerolls? Did you see that? These eggs? Did you see that shit? We're getting rerolls in eggs, bro. Did you know this?
See now, I feel like because we're such Madden sweats and we love the we love the game and we just like playing it. We're kind of over the content. We definitely
Hell,
are, and we're kind of just like it kind of is frustrating. I'm a grumpy old man with the content. Like, how do y'all like this shit this much? It's like I want to like grab these dudes and like slap them in
me
the
too.
face over and over.
Me
Like, dude,
too.
it doesn't
Yes.
matter anymore. Like, we're at 99 speed now. Like, what these cards don't matter. If they, it's like, dude, why are y'all still like caring about cards and stuff like that? So it's like, no, I don't know if I'll ever embrace the farm of MUT cards. I don't know if I'll ever do it. I don't because for
I
me it
can't.
doesn't matter that much. It's like
Yeah, I mean, you know me more than anyone. You know I really don't care. Like you see how I don't even do my jerseys. I just want to
oh, you
break the
don't even
game. I
do Vic
love
Day. You don't even play with
big.
Michael Vick. That's wild.
Yeah, Vic.
Like, you're a Vic
Ever
hater.
since I'll never forget you put me on Vic for the J Wall game. He overthrew a touchdown. I was using Steve Young. After that overthrow, I'll honestly never use Vic ever again. Steve Young makes that throw, and I might win the game. But yeah,
Well, You know, Vic is probably the only player that I get excited for. That's the one I wake up at 10 o'clock for, Michael Vick Day. He's always good for and I realized, damn, I should do this for every card. You know, maybe they really want golden tickets, even though what they've done to golden tickets in the last 5 years is actually despicable. They have kept them in the game but removed them from the game. And you guys are fools. That's the wildest part, is that they've kept golden tickets, but they're irrelevant, but people still think they're golden tickets. You know, it's a travesty what they've done and how you guys fall for it. But, you know, it's not my job to tell them.
I agree with all your takes on the content, except for presents. You are the Scrooge when it comes to the presents. The presents are it. The presents are lit. Presents have always been a W. And every year you get on stream and you shit on the presents. The presents are one of the best promos every year, W. Every year the presents are great. And you always just want to shit on them.
Oh, because, I mean, just give me a card, dude. I want to play football. I don't want to open presents. You know, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Not everything has to be a goddamn RPG game. You know, I don't need to open presents. I don't need to collect shit. I don't need to do this. I don't need to put, 7 spells to my wizard to get a new card. Sometimes you just want to play football.
Yeah, no, they went over the top this year on some stuff like that. Yeah. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, before you know it, dude, first of all, they got us running damn people you could exercise for cards and MUT. You know, now honestly, that was a great idea. But the problem was they gave you the shittiest card ever. That's when I was like, yo, I'm about to do this and film it. I'm about to go run for Aaron Donald. Then I realized he was like an 86 when we're playing with 92s. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
let me run.
But the no money spent people love him.
Well, the no money spent people tied their watch to their dog and got the card that way.
This is your problem. You don't respect the no money spent people.
I don't.
You don't respect them. You don't.
I don't.
You don't respect the no money spent grinders.
Get a job. I was never a no money spent. Even when I was broke, I was still spending money on it. Like, if I wanted to play Madden, if this is what I wanted to do, I was spending my money on it, All right? This is what I want to do, So I was never a no money spent guy. Get a job, dude. Go do something. I'd much rather let me go deliver pizzas for 2 hours. Now I can buy my MUT team. All right? That's how I felt.
Well, I'm money spent, so it is what it is.
Well, they've been boosting your pack pulls.
No, they don't. They don't want to see me.
This is what you don't realize. You only been a streamer a little bit, but this is what I've in my career. One, they boost our pack pulls, right? They do, because everybody, oh my God, they boost our. And you know what else they do? They cheat us in the Madden games. You know why? And you might not think this, but I'm gonna open your eyes to this, right? Because all these Timmy and Johns watch you play, right? And they think you're goddamn Superman, right? Right? They think you're so much better than them, so they would never try. They would never buy more cards. They would never improve their team because they can never be as good as you. But then they see you struggle a little bit. They see you be a human. They see you fumble. They see you throw picks. They see you get cheated. Now Timmy and John get what they think. Oh, Skimbo's human. We could beat him. Oh, we could do what he does. He dopes picks. He loses. Boom. Putting money on the game. You got another one. All right, and this all came. This is 7-8 years of streaming Madden, dude. Okay, I've realized this.
I never thought about it like that.
Exactly.
But then again, you take off stupid with your quarterback and takes hits, and they always fumble, and you claim it's only you.
First of all, now the quarterback shouldn't fumble unless he's hit sticked. Shouldn't fumble unless he's hit sticked.
I disagree.
Why? Okay, can you agree with me on this? All right, this thing. I should use the same button to slide behind the line as I do across the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Because I fumble in the first 2 yards of the line of scrimmage all the damn time. That's where I fumble. Not when I'm out in the open.
Of course. It's the worst when the button changes and you throw the ball. Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, I wish we could hold down the trigger or hit the right stick, whatever. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and on top of that, you get goddamn illegal pass downfield when you're standing there and your body's not even across the line of scrimmage. That's another. The whole line of scrimmage entity in Madden with the quarterback is ridiculously broken. And they don't give a shit because it's not a big deal. But the whole line of scrimmage with the quarterback, that whole process of quarterback passing line of scrimmage and becoming a runner or a passer or whatever is fucked. Yeah. And it has hit me in the ass so many damn times. Unbelievable. It has because
that and throwaways, like whatever. I mean, whatever their logic is on that stuff for sure.
There's no logic. You're just out here YOLO. I'm gonna throw it away. Yeah. I got somebody running free. I got 4 people in the flats, but we're rolling the dice, baby. Are we getting a penalty or not? Let's see what we got.
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
All right, but let's talk about I mean, more about Madden and
Okay,
ultimately the MCS, which I mean we care about the most, and
for
is the
sure.
most exciting part of the game.
Yeah,
Like this
you
is
know
I
what's
want to hear
bad?
news and stuff like that.
You know what's bad, Dubby? This is my, and you know this. This is the first year I really bitched about the gameplay ever, ever. I never complain. I adapt. I believe that creates the skill gap in Madden every year. The people who complain and go to Twitter and cry, you should be the person that tries to find the solution. I only cared about the format every year in Madden. Like I would say every year, like, oh, how do you feel the game's going to be? Oh, I don't know. I can't wait to play it. You know,
Yeah.
but the MCS format, that's something I care about a lot. Always have, always will. I actually really think it hurts that we lost Mo and Joke
Mm-hmm.
because they were the anchors on Twitter complaining and pushing. We don't have that anymore. Like we don't like pushing for like I don't get how every year, even if we know it's not possible, I don't know how there's not a group of Madden pros that just and even if they're not even in their rights to say it, just bitch and say we need a better prize pool. Say, can we get a better prize pool? How can we get a higher prize pool? You should always want the prize pool to go up. You should want it. We did it when we first started. We said, heard the prize pool's going to 5 mil. We all heard it. Yeah, we were just bullshitting on Twitter, right? We'd had fun with it. It was a mil. Hey, here's going 5. Next thing we know, though, it went up to 1.6 mil, right? Because we just kept gassing it. And then ever since people just laid off that, the price pool hasn't gone up like at all in the last couple of years. Ever since like, so it's like I always want the price pool to go up. Do that? Does it have to go up? No, it could actually go down, and probably the same amount of people are going to play, and the same amount of people are probably going to watch. If we're talking business side of things, they probably don't need to raise it,
No.
but I mean, I want them to.
All right.
You
Here's
know,
my question to you: as the biggest Madden sweat in the world, what is the number where it could go low enough to you say I don't even want to play no more? Is there a number that it could be like that I don't want to play?
I
As
don't
much
know.
as you like Madden and all these other guys like even just like competing,
Nah,
is there a number to be like, nah, I'm not doing
it,
this?
nah, because we stream, right? We stream and then we get our competitive juices from that. So it's like now if I didn't stream and I just did competitive Madden, and you're telling me the number one winner, the best player in the world, say the most you could win from winning every tournament was only like 150 to $200,000, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I would have a real job. I would play on the side because what are the odds of you winning every tournament? You know what I mean? Like to win that kind of money. Just think about the people who are doing that come in fifth place. They're making what? $10,000 in a year? I mean, I think me and you know this more than anyone, Dubby. Like we were around when it first started. And next thing you know, like we're like, damn, like I'm 31 fixing to turn 32, or I'm 30. I remember I was 20 something when this started. Now I'm about to be sitting on 32 instead of being that 25-year-old kid fresh out of college. Like, you don't realize the time that goes by until you're like, damn, like it's already been 7 years, right? Has it been 7 years? About, yeah.
Madden 16, yeah, it's been almost damn near 8. Almost
Yeah,
or
we were around for the very first tournament.
now. Do you think, as you say that, do you feel like you're getting older on the game? Do you feel like you're slipping, or do you feel like you're the same person?
I feel like sometimes I actually feel like I'm better. I know that sounds stupid because I haven't had any success
Oh, dude, I feel like
lately.
I'm light years better at Madden and smarter at Madden
Yeah.
than I
Yes.
was 5 years. I feel like I'm light years better now,
Yeah.
and smarter.
I still see the game. Like I said, I still find stuff that literally breaks the game that EA has to scramble and patch it. Like that will always become easy to me. Like breaking the game, finding bombs. Like that's something that I'll always be able to do. Defense, I'm a systematic defensive player too. I play solid defense. I have a logic behind it. And, I, man, no, I don't feel like I've gotten worse at all. I would say I'm either at the same level or a little better than when people considered me the best in the world, to be honest. It's a different time. Like, I stream now, it's simple as that.
That you stream now, so you become, they take it for granted almost. These randoms like, oh, he's on every day. It's not. Do you feel like you're losing some of your lore of your that you used to have back in the day when people only really got to play you once in a while or see you play
Yeah, for sure.
three
Well,
times a
imagine
year?
this. Imagine my Madden 22 offense would clear out, right? And EA never seen it. No one ever seen it. I only live with 3 people. And then I was also running the 2-4-5 odd loop defense my defense became better than my offense. Imagine me in the lab every day and then popping up in a tournament with that scheme with those bombs that I had. I mean, that shit would have been cake. I'm not saying I would have won the tournament, but making a live event, cake. Easy, 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 easy.
Because it all happens in one day. You know, that last couple games, or whatever it is
Yeah.
not enough time to even try
Yeah,
to prepare for it.
yeah, I would bomb you over the top every time, or take my double check downs with my running back on that and the drag, and then I would come out in the 2-4-5 odd with the people that know the middle linebacker on purples took away those wheel routes from the tight end or the running back, and yeah, man, like, yeah, I mean, good times, good times. A lot of what ifs, though. A lot of what ifs.
All right, the MCS internal format process, everything they're doing. I mean, obviously it took a giant curveball with COVID and everything, and they had to adjust. I mean, I don't really know about the format they adjusted, but everything they adjusted. Do you think it is still going in the right direction? Do you like where it's headed? Is it promising to you essentially?
I think the format's good. Me and you will always disagree on the clubs. I mean, the clubs lasted longer, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the action. I did. I love clubs. I love clubs. I love that I could do a watch party 2 or 3 times a week. We sit there, we bullshit, we talk about Madden. I loved every bit of it. I really did. So there was so much content. There was so much exposure for these other players. Clubs, I thought clubs was a W. They just paid out way too many people, in my opinion. They should have not been paying out fourth and third. They should have been happy with their free ticket to go see an NFL stadium and get the chance to play for good money. First and second should have got paid in the clubs. It should have been added to the top like they did later. But with no clubs, I do like the format how it is. I really do. Of course, I wish it was 16 like it used to be instead of only 8. But I mean, if you get sad that you're getting left out, get better, right? Like I said, I tell that to myself all the time. Hey, you're upset, you're not making it. Win one more effing game, and then you're top 8. And you're not even bitching no more. I do wish though it lasted longer. I don't like how it stops in January. I hate it. I'm not saying go till May like it used to. That's probably my only complaint I've had the last couple years is be done in March or during the draft in April. Like around that time is, I feel like, the perfect ending. So, yeah.
Now, let me ask you on this. How do you feel about every tournament being MUT?
Well, I used to laugh at people when people said, oh, it's going to be so much cheaper than salary cap. And I was like, what are you smoking? Like, you have no idea what you guys are wishing for when it comes to that. They said, oh, yeah, you had to use all these cards and you had to resell. You didn't know with salary cap. I was like, dude, you're using bronze players, dog, that cost nothing. Like, what? You're using cards that cost 500 coins. Like, now you're every... And now with abilities being 0 AP right now, like, you're using cards that are $1 million at every position. Like, I just laughed so hard when people first came up with that. Like, oh, it's going to be cheaper now. I was like, no, it's not. But outside of that, I think it's great that it's all in one format. I mean, the game's the same. I mean, it's competitive. I feel like that keeps it competitive, that it's all the same. The game's not going to change. I did like the concepts I liked on how it used to be have nothing to do with that, if that makes sense. I did like the draft champions and the regs because a lot of people could compete and it was nothing. It was free. It was literally free because regular teams, the team's already made. Draft champions, you draft a team. I loved that aspect. So the people that could not spend all this money on a MUT team the very first day the game drops, which is the craziest like cash cow like ever. Because, like, I'll never forget when they took what happened. The auction house was broken in the first tournament in Madden 22, so we had to rip every pack
that was conspiracy, dude. Dog,
just for them to tell us 10 minutes before the ladder started, we're not playing today. You'll play tomorrow. After we all dropped thousands that day, that was the biggest, like, that was the craziest shit ever. But, yeah, that was crazy because we were all, and none of us ripped anything good. We all ripped crap, and then 10 minutes before, hey, y'all gonna play tomorrow. That was insane to me. So the reason why I like Ultimate Team being one thing, because I feel like it's consistent. I feel like we're not having to change, like a bunch of shit. Like, I like that. But as far as like people that can't spend all that money the first week, first month, yeah, I do miss draft champions and I do miss regular teams for that purpose. But as far as like competitive stuff, not really. I like the format.
Now, first of all, I don't know if much cheaper. It's a lot less stressful on building a team, right? You just get the best player. You know, it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of obvious. You know, you're all going to get the best lineman. And I think the abilities is what makes it buku expensive, right? Because you would just have regular linemen. You'd have, you know, the top 90 linemen. There's no real difference between Lane Johnson and Trent Williams until they throw abilities into it. Now you have to buy the $1 million left guard because you get a free ability. Yeah. That's what made like the O-line like super buku dumb expensive this year, really.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But also, like, we didn't want to be at a disadvantage last year either, even before all this. So whatever card came out, we would have to get it, you know. It didn't matter who it was.
Well, and that just goes to the – I talked about this with CC and Skimbo, that Madden Mutt has perfected the ladder of climbing your team every single week to get that little bit better card, right? Every single week there's a card that's a little bit better, and you just got to get it, you know, because why not? Especially if you're playing in a tournament. This Andre Reed's a little bit better than my Devontae Adams was, you know?
We have – I mean, especially this year and, last year too, but especially this year, like, you had to have every card that dropped that day, like every card.
Now, all right, now – EA comes to you and says, Skimbo, how can we improve the MCS? What is the best thing we need to do to increase viewership, to increase, you know, just attention, or people wanting to play, or people wanting to watch? What do they have to do to make it better?
I don't know if I'm saying this because I'm biased or not, but mandatory stream tournament games. Even if your webcam's off, mandatory stream. Like, I think it's a joke. Like, I think it's funny, and I love the people. I love the people at Mutthead and those people, but it's just funny to me that like they're getting paid to do watch parties on us, like, and then like people in the chat like, oh, this is lame that no one's streaming, or lame, or like I remember getting DM like, oh, that's lame that I can't do a watch party on you, bro. Like, why do you want it all for yourself? I'm like, because without me, you have no content to watch party. You have no content to do anything. Like, I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. Like, everyone should have to stream, in my opinion, if they want to grow it. Because think about all the epic games that we miss, right? All the epic games. And I remember a couple people, and I told them no. Like, I can be, you know me, I can be a dick sometimes. And I remember people from EA being like, hey, you didn't make it, but can we get some clips of your game that you lost so we can show? I told them every time, no, I'm cool, bro. Like, no. Like, why? For what? You're not paying me. You want me to give you some tape for what? I tell them every time, no. Like, no. So, but the way to get better, I would say mandatory streams. I'm a firm believer on that.
Now, I also think a mandatory stream, there should be an EA watch party. All right, that's how
absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely.
What our boy Gibbs and Farrells used to do, or whoever, whether it be Nick and User or whoever it may be this time. I think there should 100% be a red zone. If they're going to do Good Morning Madden every damn day about their egg rolls and their presents and their gifts and their golden tickets, you know, they could do a damn red zone stream. What is it at this point? You know, 4 times a year. You know, I think that would help a lot of people, and it would help a lot of, you know, people that want to be streamers. Because I feel like everybody that plays Madden as much as we do is like, damn, I want to be a streamer. At least one day.
Especially this year for like 2 tournaments when it comes to streaming. Streaming has never put you at a bigger disadvantage than this year. Because did his quarterback have Fearless, or is he not rocking Fearless? You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, he's not rocking Fearless. Yeah, Edge Protector, right? That little meta too. Edge Protector. Oh, he don't have Edge Pro? Double, like the stack. We're doing double. Mm-hmm. Like, it was insane this year when it comes to that. If you stream this year, you were at the biggest disadvantage of any other time to stream, because there were so many counters on abilities. Those kids would watch you play and they'd be like, yo, like, Skim's rocking Fearless. Take off the under pressures, dog. Like, remember the Kozar card? Like, he got Kozar. Take that shit off. Or, oh, Skim's got two secure protectors on both sides. Hey, take off the stack. Put more knockouts. That happened. I would go against people, and they knew. They knew. So they come out there. They would take off their little double stacks on the ends, and they would have more knockouts out there, more pick artists out there, because I streamed my games. Like, yeah, I mean, this year was pretty wild when it comes to advantage. Like, pretty wild.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we choose to do this.
Exactly.
So it's like
Exactly. This is the
that.
competitiveness. Yeah, this is me wanting to win again, being pissed off and bitching, but at the same time, it's like I gotta like take a step back and realize like it's my own fault. Like so. Like,
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely gotten worse. The way the game has changed, I think it's gotten worse for the most part. For sure.
It's like people like we can have these conversations with people, and then they'll tell you like run something else on stream, dude, and then work on your real scheme. Dog, like that's impossible to do. I don't care how many people. It sounds easy on paper, right? Or it looks easy on paper. It sounds easy, bro. What? Like I keep mentioning Henry. I watched Henry, right? Because he's the best. Like during like that time, like he was winning everything. So it's just like I'm gonna watch what he's doing because he's streaming. He's running nickel normal. He's doing this. He's got under pressures on. And guess what he runs when the tournament came around? The same exact thing. Like, so like not even he wasn't even trying to hide that shit.
Mm-hmm. All right, now I mean, obviously we'd all love to see different venues for these Madden events, but I think we're pretty much locked into this their little studio. I think
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
You don't think so?
I'm trying to figure out why they're bringing this Madden bus back all of a sudden.
What Madden
That's
bus?
part. Well, remember that bus that they brought out all of a sudden for like commercials during the Madden stuff?
What?
Do you remember that?
I think you're trolling me.
Do you know the chat will remember? There's like they had this big bus,
The bus
like a
is
big
back?
Madden bus. Dude, do you not remember that? Like on the commercials, like everyone's like, why is there a this Madden bus? Like I'm like during the competitive like commercials, like I don't know. I think that's my far-fetched idea. As soon as I saw that, I said, hold on. Like, what is this? As soon as I saw that. Because they did nothing with it. They showed a bus, but they did nothing with it. So I was like, why would they show us a big EA Madden bus and not do a thing with it, though? So ask the chat. Does the chat remember? Does the chat remember what I'm talking about right now? Like, I'm not talking about the old school. I'm talking about like recently.
Like
does
it was
anyone
during
that?
like a tournament and they showed a commercial, or was like a commercial?
Yeah.
on TV?
Okay. I'll make sure I'm not tripping. I that's my far-fetched thing.
So
but
you want the bus back?
I mean, I think that would be cool. I mean, if
Would
they
you
do
go on
what
the
they
bus?
used to do. Yeah, of course.
You would go on the bus?
Fuck, dude, yes. Well,
All right. What's
yeah,
the number where it'd be cheap where you would say I don't want to go on the bus?
I'm going on it no matter what.
No matter what. So say
No
we're,
matter
we're
what.
playing for free. We're putting a showcase on for Madden. We want you on the bus. You're rocking that?
Dog, if we traveling from city to city and I'm single, yes, I'm cool, bro. Okay,
All
what?
right. There
Like,
it is. You're on the bus.
on the bus, dog, for sure.
All right. Who's some overrated and underrated players you would like to see on the bus? All right. No, I'm trolling. But
Yeah. I mean,
all right. All right, but obviously I think the venue is a big deal. I think that the
Right,
fake crowd
sorry.
and all that sucks. I think, I mean,
Yeah.
what we played in was the greatest era of Madden ever, and we are blessed for all the shit we did in those 2 or 3 years, that these kids
Right.
don't, and I think everybody feels that way even watching it,
I mean, we all know why, like a lot of that stuff's different now, right?
Yeah.
But I think Mallow said this. Someone said like, "Oh, but you had more live event, like you had more competitors there, so you had more competitors in the crowd," which was true. But in a sense, you would have an extra 10 or 16. But you also had like people would get tickets in Burbank, and then you would have like 30 to 50 people in the crowd, like you never saw. Like I guess they promoted it somewhere. Like I remember taking pictures with freaking kids and their dads and. They knew all about us. I remember those times, that was the thing. Like, yeah, there was like 10 to 12 pros in the crowd rooting, but there was like, they did like even in Redwood City where the new studio's built, like there's buildings around there. They could go around there and just say, hey, do you want to do this? It's a free ticket. We'll have, we'll do our metal detector. Like, hey, you can bring kid. They could do that.
But they
Like,
don't have
easy.
any room. They don't have any room where they're playing Madden to put people.
Yeah, they do. No, I remember that. Wait, hold on.
You remember watching it this year when they were walking out and our boy Kobo's parents were sitting right next to him, and There was like 12
Yeah.
people there.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's pretty tight. Yeah. I mean, I
Honestly,
know it goes it
yeah.
goes it goes across that desk though, so they could go across that desk, but as far as like going back, yeah, it was not that far. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the Pro Bowl one was crazy. You know, that tent, that big
Oh, they
ass
got to
tent.
do that again. I mean, I think that's cheap because like EA does a fan experience every Pro Bowl, right? Every Super Bowl too. They have their like do that. They should do it every year. Like it's just like we're the entertainment there. Like we're playing like that was the smartest. As much as we hate on Mark Q all the time, that was so smart. Like so smart. That was perfect. And hopefully, I guess there's like we don't even know who the commissioner is, by the way. I don't know how people on Twitter don't go crazy on this one. There was no announcement on who the
Mm.
new commissioner. I don't even know who the new commissioner of EA, but Mark Q was the perfect punching bag. So anytime like now people don't have no one to punch on Twitter now. No one does. Like people used to love punching Mark Q. Now when people are complaining, they can't attack him. Like there's no one to attack.
That's
They
gotta
haven't
be
announced
RG.
anyone.
Gotta take. We gotta attack RG.
I don't know who
He
it is.
said
They
hit the
had
goat
every
tone,
year
but
the commit every year the commissioner gives the check. This year, one great user gave the check.
so we can target our hate towards user. Is what you're
I
saying? Is that he
mean,
can be the
I
guy we
mean,
gotta
he
tag?
user might be the commissioner and we don't even know it.
User might be the commissioner. That would be a great responsibility bestowed upon our boy user. I don't know. He might fumble that one. I'm not sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, do you think there's any overrated or underrated people to take that joke or mo role on Twitter and start complaining? Who do you think should step up to the plate in that? Because you're not that type of person. You know.
No, I pick and choose when I complain. I need to start making my list on what the game needs to fix. But who could take on that role? Like, and who has influence? Uh, Usually Dreeny sometimes comes out and says some stuff, right? Like he come out and be bitching sometimes. Dreeny's done that a couple times.
I don't know if Journey got the. I don't know if he got the backbone to keep pushing though. I think he might fold under too much pressure from the ops.
I feel like K-Mac does, but sometimes he always wants to like spin a laugh in there, though. You know what I mean? Like kind of
Hmm.
like set it off instead of just being like how Joke and Mo were like cutthroat about it. Like sometimes K-Mac will make a good complaint, but then like he'll try to be goofy with it and make a joke with it so it doesn't come off as harsh. Um, you know who used to do it? Problem actually used to be pretty good on it, but even he has taken a step back the last 2 or 3 years from just saying anything about competitive Madden on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know who it is, man, because that's never been my style. Like I said, like I'm a block the noise type of guy. You know that. Like I don't want to know what people are doing or saying about me ever. Like I just want to do me. It's kind of hard to avoid now that you stream though. But I mean, I remember going to live events and deleting Twitter for that month. Like I just didn't want to see what people were saying. So it's definitely not me. I don't know who it would be though.
All right, all right. Is there any news for the format that you're wanting to hear, or you're like, excited about, or you're like anticipating, or anything you're, waiting for?
I'm just waiting for the new game, man. I think the format's fine. In my opinion, this is for me personally. This is one of the worst Maddens ever. I'm just ready for a new game. Like trying to be really careful with what I say without getting in trouble, but
So
like
you can't be that guy then. See, look, see.
yeah, I can't. But I just hope like their main focus is not attacking bunch. Like that's all they fucking focus on every year. And this year, everyone ran tight. Everyone ran tight. And I'm just gonna if I come out and see like bunch is gone or they make bunch even worse, like we could go over a list of things, W, that they've done to bunch to make it worse. Like we're like let's talk this year. The tight end can't block all of a sudden, right? I'm sure they're gonna fix it where people had the little glitches or the plays with the tight end blocking. I bet you those plays with the tight end blocking are out the window next year. 100%. I bet you those are gone because there are people that literally hate bunch in that studio and they'll do anything to stop it. And but the main focus, like, God, I sound like a bitch, but like, stop looking at what I do and just like look at what look at what the people who are winning are doing. Like, look what they did. Like, they audibled from bunch to tight and they quick snap. Like, do something about that. You know what I mean? Do stuff like that was meta. Like the 3 years in a row, 3-3-5 wide was the best defense in the game, kind of. You know what I mean? There's always spurts where other defenses are good, like Dollar was great. But honestly, at the end of the day, 3 years in a row, 335 has looped, and that hasn't been touched. But, other stuff has been touched. But yeah.
Well, I mean, what makes 335 wide? Good. There's this audible system, and the fact linebackers suck. Right, linebackers suck.
Right.
That's the first thing. Like, a realistic thing they could change to Madden is make just linebackers right like they used to be. That's a realistic thing. That's not no outlaw like wish list. That's realistic. Like, just bring linebackers back. That's how I wish I would do that.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, we should be able to run on Dollar. Like Dollar should not be run defense. I should be able to line up under center, and I should be able to tap my butt a couple times, and I should be able to run the ball against Dollar every time. I'm so sick of these gap shooters.
Now, first of all, that's a valid point this year. I will be honest. That is a valid point.
The run was so bad this year for everything.
You didn't have to try. I used to hate when people said that because I was like, dude, I'm actually really good at stopping a run. I always was. Like, I know how to stop a Dollar. But this year, you can be absolutely brain dead. You don't even have to know anything. You stop it by accident. The idiots stop it. They don't even have to do anything. There's no user. There's no nothing. So this year, I do agree that, that it was actually.
That's why the X factor on Chubb or who was the running back?
The quad
father. That's why it was a good thing because to be honest, the run was so bad this year, dog. Like you needed the quad father to be able to tote the ball.
Yeah, I mean that is true. The run was super bad, but. Listen, we don't want it any better than it was this year. I don't. I just. Yeah. But then again, now you could ask me about your opinion. My opinion on Madden is I used to think only good players should comment on the game. That's how I feel. Like we know the game better than the idiots. But
oh yeah, I heard you say that earlier. Before.
Yeah. But the idiot. But we learned this year real quick when the pack strike dudes and the idiots stop playing, the game dies. We're gonna play regardless. So I'm starting to feel like. Okay, maybe we should start listening to the bots. What do they want in the game so they keep playing for 5 or 6 months and they don't disappear after the first month?
They didn't want gameplay though. They like actually in the game like that, bro. That killed us, bro. Like that, I ain't never seen a drop off like that ever. I think it happened like October, and people are like, "Oh, it always happens in October and then it picks back up." Bro, no, it did not. No, it did not. That was crazy what happened this year with all that pack strike stuff.
Yeah, so Pack Strike killed Madden?
I mean, yeah. I mean, except for, like, a couple other people that just, like, they sit there and, like, you know what I mean? They talk about how bad EA is. They talk about what they want. And then, like, that group of people all were, like, you know what I mean? They support that because that's what they're interested in. Like, I tell Fritzy all the time, like, I don't know how you do it, bro. You re-roll for 3 hours without playing a game. You sit there, you bump music, and you re-roll for 3 hours. I could never do that. Like that's just not me. Like what is that? Like no hate. I can tell them no hate against you, but people are in those streams like re-roll for 3 hours. Let's re-roll with them. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're different, I guess. And I always streaming is kind of easy or playing Madden and making content because we don't really got to do too much other than play. Because we're good at it, but.
Right.
I always think those guys are like, God bless them because, they're not good. They don't have that golden feather or whatever, like that free. Well, it's not free because, like, we put time into it. It's not just, we weren't just born great Madden players, So
and then after rerolls, they hop into a game, they get relled, and then they complain about the meta and blah, 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 and then they go back to rerolls. Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wouldn't want to play either. Especially my boy Skimbo. Dog, me and you are big Skimbo watchers, right?
I love Skimbo.
He was in a hell game and everybody left. Everybody was leaving. I'm like, dude, this is the best game he's ever played. And we were locked in. Like, was he going to win this? It was a hell game. And people were just leaving. They're like, we're out.
I got 2 comments. Me and you were in the Discord. I remember that. He was just got done doing his re-rolls. People were lit. He had 1,000 people in there going crazy. He hops into a game. He's in a hell game. It's going in the 4th quarter. He got 400 people in there. 600 people left after, and this dude, by the way, it's not his 2nd or 3rd game, it's his 1st game using these new cards. They all left.
No, but it was like actually, but it wasn't no bullshit like half-ass game. Like it was a dialed ass game.
We was into it. Me and you were like hype. Yeah.
Like, dude, this dude, he's actually, and Skimbo not a boring, like, he not a boring gamer. Like, he be into it. Like, he'd be like, let's go. He'd be like, dude, we watched it. I was like, damn, I wouldn't play either.
And then I was in that stream one day, and you weren't in there, and I heard this crazy shit. Like, someone typed in his chat, and his voice like lights up, and he goes, "Oh!" He goes, "Is that Matty Ice? Is that Skimbo's Matty Ice right there?"
Yeah, that's your boy. Maddie's your
I
boy,
don't.
dude. You brought him to us.
I don't.
Like,
How is that my like? How is that
chat.
my guy though? That's you. You created that monster.
Who created Maddie?
How is that
fault is
Skimbo's
this?
Matty Ice though? That's your creation.
I'm not gonna argue with it. The chat can tell. The chat can tell you who created him. That's what I'm saying. Like he's he's our boy. Like he's gonna have like a VIP table at our barbecue one day. But I mean, you created a monster, really. Like,
hey, real talk though, I'll never forget that. I was like chilling, my phone. I had ScoMo like on the phone while I was like doing some shit, and I literally heard him perk up and just go, "Is that Skimbo's Matty Ice?" And I remember going to my phone, looking at like what the fuck. Good times.
That's a good guy, bro. Have you been seeing us play co-op? I know you had to catch us play co-op. It is a little late. We do be playing a little late. We be playing a little bit late. I'll be honest, Matty is ass this year. Would you be surprised if I carry him in MLB? I've carried him in the 3 or 4 games we played. It's kind of nasty.
Well, actually. I asked my stream today when I was playing. I was like, man, I just feel like I suck. I was like, do y'all ever just watch me and feel like I'm bad? They're like, have you watched W play yet?
I mean, listen, I can't lie. I feel like I'm getting older in this game.
They all said, bro, last night was crazy.
I go on tilt on MLB. I just get like, all right, dude, now we're on tilt, you know. And I always think like, you know, I'm a probability guy. If you done thrown three sliders in the dirt, right, 3-0, what do you got to come home, right? Like we just have to, and that just doesn't work in that game. It simply does not work. It doesn't work.
I mean, I've been telling you for years, and I'm not biased. I always think like by far you're the best content creator on MLB too, not just Madden but MLB. I couldn't imagine what those streams are like right now. I can't even imagine.
I mean, right now we're playing too much Madden. We're fighting our dicks off. What are we gonna get you to join a CFM in Madden 24?
Ooh, probably nothing. We'll never do one.
No, you'll never join a CFM. What if it's like a $10,000 CFM?
Probably not.
What if the Madden bus was a CFM? And you have no CFM experience? You might get rolled.
You think they would do that?
Oh, it might be a good idea, would it not? That you're thinking now, like that's kind of a good idea. Everybody gets a team.
I might be putting the other Xbox in my bedroom and doing some offline CFM.
Offline CFM. That's what the dude Cerebral does. He does 2 offline CFM so he knows what players to draft and shit.
Well, you're joking. You're joking.
No. Dog, we're in the playoffs of our CFM, right? With my boy Firemuth and Quez Watkins, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm in the playoffs. So they've had some playoff games today, so I tuned them in on a Twitch, watched them, checked them out. Watching this dude play. My man has abilities on every person on the field. Every person. He's got 3 linemen, all 4 wide receivers, and a running back with abilities. And I'm fighting my dick off to get Quez Watkins to get short and elite. I don't understand.
That's a big deal for your team. You need that. Like you need that.
You know what? Honestly, I don't. You know why? Because he's short and elite. You just press it into the fucking ground, and he can't go nowhere. You know. You need short out.
Yeah, you need short out. You need short out. You need
short
out
the
street.
Yeah, but be short out and short in to get that, you need to be like a 95 overall. And let me tell you something about Quez Watkins. He's about 84 overall. You know, so we're not getting there. So we got a tough fight in the playoffs here with our boy Firemuth and Tim Patrick and Will Fuller. Now you probably don't even know who these players are because they've never been good at Madden. Will Fuller's been good at Madden. You've had some Will Fuller cards.
I know. The only person I know is Hooper, Austin Hooper.
That's your boy.
Sanu, hold on. Don't you have Sanu?
He was my mentor. I picked him up. I did pick him up for that reason. I was like, because see, you got to know this stuff. And just in case the bus is a CFM, you got to get a player that's been in the league for 10 years because then they act like a leader and a mentor to the younger players and help them build their XP. You know, I didn't know that. The chat taught me that you need to add those. So I added Sanu because of his route running. You know,
dude, I don't know if this will go over the chat's head, but I'll never forget that North Carolina tournament when that dude said that, bro. Like for the game, it was for the game, and the dude put Sanu on a streak, and Sanu got open and caught the ball, and the game was over. And this random dude that bet money goes, bro, that's Sanu's route running right there, dog. His route running got him open. I remember looking at you like, bro, the fucker was on a streak. What is he talking about? That was the best tournament ever, dude.
That was a good tournament.
Oh my God, route running. Ever since
some
that
type
day, me and you, and now the chat knows that story. Every time we say Sanu and you randomly or I randomly say he got that route running, we're talking about his streak.
Bro, Sanu has route running. I mean, that was a good tournament. That was good times there in North Carolina when Bugs threw up in the grass. That was tough.
We had such a good time. I was spending all that money and buying shots on your tab. I'll never forget that night when I was like going up. And you told the chat I was buying girls' drinks. I was buying dudes' drinks. I didn't care. Whoever wanted a drink got a drink.
Yeah, everybody.
Because you know why? When the bartender said, "Who's this on?" McFarland.
I didn't even know who the hell Don Julio was before that night. I learned who he was real quick. I met him real quick. That's my boy after that night.
Every time I went over there, and they said, "Who's this on?" I deepened my voice every time. McFarland.
That was tough.
Yo, your bill. I'll never forget the look on your face when you went to go pay your tab, and you was going through that list. Like, what happened on this tab tonight? I was like, "Hello."
It was a tough scene. It was a tough scene for the boys. Now, when was the last time I saw you? Was it the Vegas tournament we went with Kiv and Problem? Was that the last time?
I'm not even trying to be soft. You're about to make me cry thinking about this.
Yeah, you're kind of washed, honestly.
No, it's not even that. It's just like nothing. I don't want to be soft. Nah, what's it?
I think it was Vegas, dude.
Was that
4-person little bullshit tournament? That was free money.
We saw each other in Madden 20 at the clubs.
No, the tournament was after Madden. Oh yeah, it might have been Madden 20 at clubs.
Yeah, I think Madden 20 at clubs. Or yeah.
That was Power Exchange.
And there is stuff I'm not even gonna say out loud that I really.
I mean, we can blame that on user.
I'll never forget that because I remember being in my bed because I told a certain someone I wasn't going. I'll never forget this. I was in my bed. I wasn't going out. I promised someone I wasn't going out. I was in bed. I got a random knock on my door. Here's fucking one great user and Bugatti Bugs and the most pimped out clothes ever, the most pimped out shades. They had ski jackets on, vest on, goggles on. And I opened the door and here's these two brothers just looking at me like, "We going out tonight." And I remember looking at them going, "I ain't got a choice, do I?" And they go, "Nope." I was like, "Let's go." That was it. And then the rest, and then the rest was history that night. And that's as far as we go. But when they came up pulling up in ski goggles and ski jackets,
goggles,
bro, ski goggles and ski jackets, and they pulled up on my hotel room and said, "We going out." I said, "Give me 5. Well, let's roll."
Goggles is nuts. All right, so
man, those are good times.
What's it going to take for you to go to like a DreamHack or a TwitchCon or something like that here in the future?
And man,
TwitchCon Paris.
Man, it's like, dog, Jacksonville really spooked me, bro. From like doing, I don't know, man. Like, it's tough, man. I honestly can't answer that question either. Like, I hate that I'm not answering all these questions, but. I mean, I don't know, like, where my mind's going to be at during that time. Like, it's really tough, man. Like, okay, like, you know what freaks me out? I'll just say, like, I play in these little poker tournaments. Like, the World Series of Poker came to Tulsa. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, they do no security check. There's so much money on the line. Like, it's hard to get the money because that's why they give you chips, and you can't walk out with chips. You got to go to a cashier. But still, the idiots don't know that. They think, like, it's in there, and it's not. Like, I guess it's just part of it now. I don't know, bro. Once you go through something like that, things are just different. So,
I understand.
But I would love to go to one of those events, and definitely if like you were there and the boys, you know what I mean? Like for sure.
Oh, like when I hit the group chat, like, "Yo, let's go to MLB All-Star Game," and everybody ignores me, like that.
We was ready. Me and you was ready. We know what happened with that situation.
We was ready last year. We were ready. This year I hit the same thing and nobody said anything to me.
I'm down to ride. I'm down to ride. I'm down to ride. Like, that. It comes down to one little dude that's more worried about a puppet than his friends.
Would you say he's a sellout?
Absolutely.
Because we were with him shooting in the gym. We were. Like, that was our boy, and then, now it's all about a puppet. It's tough. I'll be honest, kind of washed. I'm going to put it out there. I've been checking in.
And,
He's not the same player anymore. He's not the same player.
Well, here's the difference. And people might say this about us. But you know what we do? You know what we do? We still enter the tournaments. We still do the tournaments. We still put our name in the hat. And you know who stopped putting his name in the hat since he became famous?
Little man 17.
Little man 17 with 2 N's.
He did. He has, we ain't gonna talk about Gunsky. Don't do that shit. They're too Hollywood over there.
That's
why,
insane to me.
And this is why
Where's the passion?
And this is why I'll tell you, MLB will never be compared to Madden because of that alone, right? Like they just don't care. They don't care. They don't care to win. It's all about debuts over there, and friendly quits and debuts. Everybody trying to get their content off. That's it,
I will say though,
it is a very pleasant community. I feel like that, there's no animosity anywhere. It's happiness, is joy.
No drama, no rivalries. I hate it, but yeah.
I will tell you though, bro, the kids are toxic. The kids that I play at 3 a.m. and like last night, they had a whole squad running here and they were beating my ass and they were running a train on the chat. They were beating the shit out of the chat, making fun of us. It was actually super toxic.
Did you help defend the chat and yourself by winning the game, or did you get
no?
I
got absolutely railed. It was bad. It was actually a bad performance. We didn't get mercied, but we got penetrated. It was bad. But
was it deep?
It got weird because I wound up yelling at my chat more than the randoms, because my chat was kind of pussy. This one guy, Runners, was like, "Dubby, you're having a rough night, but just really focus," and that pissed me the fuck off. All right.
I heard about this comment. I
forget what I said, but I clipped it, and it's gonna be on the
Someone
next
told me about
montage.
that today. Someone told me about that today. That someone's trying to say something positive, and you snapped on him. I heard about this,
dude. Because it just pissed me off. And then what happened is we embraced those guys. They'll be back. Those guys will be back. I got like 7 new followers from this group of guys. They were 19 to 21. So, they seem kind of cool. They were really toxic, which doesn't happen on MLB until late at night, to be honest.
But once you get past the troll, then they're one of the boys. I mean, they're, you know what I mean? That's how it works.
That's how 90% of these dudes started in the chat, by trolling. And then you're like, okay, now they're people.
Especially your chat. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen some names. Oh yeah. They're your VIPs.
Well,
they're your VIPs.
Well, they troll, right? And they become a fan. That's really what happens. They're like, oh shit, this guy's cool. He didn't ban us. Like he's like, bro, all right, well, why would I turn down a free 7 viewers? I'm not rich. All right, yeah, come on, you want to watch? Have fun. I hate when people ban people. I remember when Skimbo's chat. Your chat.
Yeah.
Chat's a heavy ban.
When I first started streaming, I remember PG. You cussed in my stream. You got banned. That's not a thing anymore like it used to be, but I definitely remember that. That was a thing. Yeah,
well, you let Mikey run wild. He got a lot of bans. Mikey goes crazy. He dunks on some people.
You know who got more bans than him, though?
Who? Dottie?
Yeah, by far. Like, Mikey go crazy sometimes with timeouts and stuff like that, but, like, the ban hammer is Dottie. It's not even close.
Dottie is 48 years old, dude. How you...
Bro, this dude will sit there and ban you so quick, dude. Like, I don't even know what's happening.
I mean, that's the father in him. He's a responsible man. He's sleep already. I don't get to spend a lot. Daddy checks in for the first 10 minutes of the stream. He checks in. And then that's when I know when it's time to go to bed. When Daddy be like, yo. I'm like, damn. We made it to 4:30 in the morning. All right, dude. It's about time to go to bed.
I remember I had to have a talk with my mods before the LCQ. I said, look, no bans during this. I was like, let them shit on me. Let them call me wash. And a couple of mods like, nah, I'm not going to let them say it. I was like, let them say it. I remember that. They didn't want that to happen, but I was like, it's got to happen. I need to get trolled. So
that's a good thing. If you want everybody to like you, you're cutting off half of your viewer base. It's a tough realization. Now, let me ask you about Madden, what you hated so much about this video game of Madden, because we kind of got off of the Madden thing, and I know a lot of people care, and why you hated it so much. I didn't really like the game. I think it was really frustrating, but why did you not like this game that much?
Oh, I mean, dude, it was just the most inconsistent game I've ever played. Like, I don't care what the meta. I've never cared what the meta was. I never cared what was what. I could literally just tell you, I don't know if my tight end is gonna fall down or not when he runs a route. Is he going to get sniped by a DN out of dollar because you're in baseline press? Like, I don't know. Like, is my main target going to fall down? I mean, I'm a timing guy. You know that. Like Z spot, right? If you remember me in Madden 17, I had a certain window. I threw that bitch every time. I'm a big timing guy, and that's how I've always played. This is the first year I had to stare down if my wide receiver was, and I remember throwing a pick against Boogs. I'm throwing my tight end timing route, and he does a stutter step out of his break, and he doesn't run the route, and I throw it, and they overthrow it for a pick, randomly. It's like, oh, I'm getting hot just talking about it. Like, there's only a certain people like I can have a conversation with though about this, and it's like it's just little shit like that. That's not competitive. Like, that's never been a thing in any Madden until this Madden. Like, why am I having to see if my tight end is going to stumble out of his break? You know, I'm about to get sacked, right? Because at a pro level, you're getting screamed at every time. Like, it's you got to fucking be ready. Definitely the fucking, what was it this year? The dollar loot blitz. Oh my God. Like, you had to be on your shit. But, you know, I didn't like this game a lot. I thought it had a lot of potential. A lot of things I thought were going to get patched. They never got touched. Flat routes, hitting off your back would fall down. I thought, okay, they'll patch that. They'll let you catch the ball. Never happened. Certain passes going through your hands, right? You would have the ball going right through your hands. I said, okay, this will get patched. That never got patched. Like, what's his name? Gucci broke a controller because it happened. Like wide receivers bumping down the field. I'll be honest. I knew that wasn't going to get patched because how do they patch that? Like, they obviously fucked it up. So it's just funny. I mean, it's just funny. I think people got brainwashed by freeform passing. I think a lot of people fell for the bait, and EA did a really good job of baiting a lot of these kids to thinking freeform passing was like the greatest thing ever. Like, you got to think about it. Like, the meta last year was low point passing. Well, guess what? If you want a low point pass, you can't freeform pass. And guess what happens when you do low point pass? You're going to throw it into the ground every time. We're going to force you to use our feature. Like, and then, like, people are like, oh, look, I get a better corner route pass lead. Yeah, but like, if you threw it on normal, you would throw it behind the wide. You could pass lead to the outside. They would make you throw it behind the wide receiver instead of toward the sideline.
You had to use freeform.
You were forced to use it.
The lob
because,
was the number one thing. You can't lob the ball without freeform. I don't know how people ever lob the ball. You needed to put that bitch out there as far as possible.
Exactly. And it's just like, I could really break it down. And then, like, I see Chuchi make a comment about Mole's like highlights on Twitter with touch pass, lob passes. None of them were against a deep route KO. Like, he's catching a ball with deep out elite against a dude that doesn't even know how to put KOs on his team. I'm like, what are you trying to show here? Like, what? So, anyways, not a fan of this game. Too inconsistent. Like I said, I would freeform a pass one time. It would be perfect. The next time it would be inconsistent. I'm used to Maddens where I would throw the same pass every time. And if our quarterback had that threshold where it was like 92, he would throw it perfect every time. That's what I'm used to. And a lot of bullshit this year. I didn't like it. So.
All right, well, you talk about thresholds. How do you feel about abilities? Are you pro or con abilities?
I'm mixed. I think the system was great in 17 and even 18. I thought it was great. I mean,
it was so
I
subtle,
think like
though, then it was like nothing. It was a little bit, one player was cool.
No, I was doing the shit that a lot of people weren't doing. I remember in 17, you knew I had 2 tip drills as safeties. No one else did. I was catching these tip drill picks. Like, yeah, there were certain cards, like I was using 84 overalls. And then also I had 2 secure protectors against the people who ran dollar and Madden's like, and then conductor. Like, I was using the abilities. People weren't really using them yet, but like there was some pretty good shit out there back then that I was using. I remember like thinking like, how does none of these pro players have these abilities out here? Like, I don't understand this. Like, these are really good abilities. But and I liked it how it is, but something that drives me insane, man, is just people don't realize this, but man and zone defense is really bad this year. Like, it's never been this bad. Like, even Madden 18 pre-91 zone, it's that bad. It's on that level of bad. Because the wide receivers catch almost everything unless you have a knockout. Like, they'll literally catch every pass.
Oh, it's designed. You need a knockout tonight. And that's when I get pissed off when
Yeah.
somebody get a lucky knockout with no ability. I feel like you should never get that
Oh,
the way the game's
you
designed.
get cheated.
That's the
Yeah, it's
craziest
cheated.
RNG ever, that you get a lucky knockout when somebody doesn't have that ability. But they catch
Yeah.
everything. Dude, I'm learning the hard way here in CFM with no abilities.
So you're
what the
playing
game is
CFM,
like.
and I watch you play. Yeah, I watch
They
you
catch
play. Like
everything.
I'm watching it. Yeah, like stuff that's normally defense is not defense because it's like you don't have knockouts no more. Like everything's open. So
Yeah,
it's rough,
tough.
man. It's just like I didn't like from top to bottom. I really didn't like the game. I don't like how this year was just put your controller down. Like I hated that. Like just like I never got to click on and go for a pick. Like I remember when we used to lab at the beginning of the year. You would throw these corner routes, and I would tell you, keep throwing it. I'm gonna click on and pick one of these. Keep throwing it. And you kept going to me. No, you're not. No, you're not. I was like, keep throwing. I kept going. Keep going. I was like, keep throwing it, bro. You don't know what my user's like. I was like, keep throwing it. I remember I used to tell you, and you're like, I will. You said I will give you 10 subs if you pick one of these off. And I never picked one off, and I finally put the controller down. I'll never forget it. I was like, this is so stupid. This was like the first month the game dropped too.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like the game changed a lot throughout the year. This year, there was a lot of different
I don't.
metas.
I don't.
I think so. I think the game.
I don't.
I think the
I
first
don't
tournament,
until,
the game was not nobody had crazy abilities like that. The first tournament.
It's because no one knew about high point passing yet. Whatever you knew about that first tournament, dude. Here's the commentators. Go back and watch it. Oh my God! Look at that freeform pass. Did you see how he pass led that ball? Oh my God! What a freeform pass that was. It was like freeform. Bro, and then after that, like, people don't realize this. Like, the shit Noah threw in the end zone was the meta from the very beginning. A high point up the middle, users dumbed out, everything dumbed out, touchdown versus Drini. Like, that was the meta, and no one realized it. And when you look back at it, holy shit, that was the meta the whole time.
We should have been chucking more.
Should have been throwing high point passes every time.
Especially with no pick arts.
But I'm out here throwing. But you know what I'm out here throwing? I'm out here throwing these touch pass lobs on my corner strike with short end to try to get over the top. I'm out here pass leading outside. I'm out here doing all this extra when I could have just high point passed every play.
Listen, my man Bachman is right. Jacoby made the meta this year. Jacoby did make the meta.
Absolutely.
Jacoby might be on the underrated list. He might be.
He just needs to know. He just needs to stop putting shit out there for everyone for free. Like,
Jacoby might be on the underrated list. He might. Yeah, he did. He won a Friday Night Football, chucking eggs. If he would have did that in a tournament, he would have won.
He would have won.
He won that 1,000
for sure.
He won that 1,000 though.
He did win that 1,000. I wonder what he spent that 1,000 on though.
Dude, my man. First of all, Jacoby. When I saw him go on a dance date mid Madden tournament, dude. He's a legend. He is over 99% of the Madden community. When he pulled up with the button up and the slacks with the dress shoes and said, "I'm going on a dancing date," dude, absolutely legendary. The rest of us schmucks were going to some club to dance around and stand around and drink drinks. He's on a dancing date.
Hold up, he actually had a girl pull. Oh, hold up, he actually had a girl pull up though.
Oh, he had it scheduled. He was on Tinder Plus. He was searching pre-vacation. No, Rico was the one that taught me about this, is that you can get Tinder Plus and change your location while you're at home and get your searching done before you even get to your vacation.
Is that really what he did, or are you gassing?
I swear to God, he had a dance date. Yo, like, dude, a dance. They went dancing. Dead ass. And he was dressed up and everything. Like, he was smooth. He was like, yeah, I'm going on a dancing date. And we're like, whoa, what? Like, yeah. Like, bro, he was the man.
But something you taught me, though. You taught me this. He should have gone out with the boys and have that later, though. Right?
He should have, because...
Right? You taught me that, because when we used to go to Houston and I would see one pretty girl at 8 o'clock and I was ready to cuff, you'd pull me aside and be like, you can get that later. Like, you don't need to get cuffed up right now. We need to have fun. Yeah, and I'll be like...
Sometimes it fails. And sometimes you're like, damn... But then you remember the night you had, and it's like, okay, it wasn't where I was.
Yeah, but
it would have been boring.
And then when we was in Vegas, Big Skim cuffed. I said, fuck it, because after Gigi ran away, like, what was the Houston?
Gigi. That was it. Yeah, but see, so you have both experiences, And let's be honest, what was the better night? The cuffing night or the night we were running around in it? What? Think about it. Yeah,
running around with Von Miller, Eric Berry, the boys.
Yeah. we might have went home empty-handed, but at the end of the day, we had the
We did,
experience.
and then guess who woke up the next day and was seeing double and got absolutely popped? Me.
Well, that's an amateur move. You were young then. You were like
Uh,
26. You weren't prepared. You weren't a grizzled vet.
I still remember this to this day. It was halftime, and I'm hungover playing that game. And Travis is sitting front row, Travis from EA, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and he gives me this look, and he just starts shaking his head no. And I'll never forget this look, like he was a disappointed father in me. And people thought it was you that was influencing me, but little do people know, it was really me just wanting to go crazy. So good times.
There you go. So all right. So EA comes to you and say, how do we fix? What's one thing we need to do for Madden 24 to make it a better game?
I would say two things. I would say get rid of the bumping down the field. Bumping down the field has to get out. Like, I'm tired of that. And the inconsistency of man beaters. That's something I've complained about for about a year to two now. That one play we get man beating, and one play we don't. And the perfect thing they did was short out elite. That was perfect. Like, I knew when I saw the blink off the press, he was always going to get open. And that was like one of the few W's I think EA even did this year. A couple other patches they did this year were like so bad, like literally so bad. Like the aggressive catch patch, so bad. But like the short out elite stuff, that's cool. I thought that was a W. I hope that actually is like next year, because you know how the defense abilities counter like every offense ability basically in this game for the most part.
Yeah.
I really thought it was neat that. Yeah, I thought it was neat that short out elite worked against inside shade and outside shade every time. I was like, damn. I was like, I actually have consistency. Like, I know that this dude's gonna get open. You know what I mean? If he's pressed, like, so I love that. I just want more consistency in the game. I felt like this game was really catered to randomness and fluke. I mean, like, I could just imagine people playing against, like, I freeformed it a little too far. I gotta go change my settings later because that freeform, I overthrew him. Maybe if I had it here, my freeform settings won't be like that next time, and I won't be overthrowing this shit. Like, I could just hear the conversations going on right now, and it just already makes me want to just get mad and start punching things, like, because that, yeah.
So
anyways,
so basically, freeform is that was the stem of all the terrible problems of Madden 23.
No. I do not. I think freeform added randomness and dice rolls, and you had to use a feature. But no, I don't think it was the worst. No, I would still say to this day, bumping was pretty bad.
Okay.
I don't know. The game was just fucking shit. I mean, I don't know if my tight end on a break's gonna stumble or he's gonna run his route clean. I'll be honest. Every play, I didn't know what I was going to get, unfortunately. Like, I'm going to run a concept I've ran ever since Madden 16. Z-spot. I'm going to put a guy on a streak. I'm going to have a corner route, and I'm going to have a flat route. This is the first year ever I have to stare it down like, well, I hope my streak and my corner route don't run into each other here, because it happens almost every time. So this is the first year that combo had ever got bumped, and I was like, that's when I knew the game was just like, whatever.
All right, but somebody will argue with you, well, that's what happens in real football. What do you say to that?
Well, this ain't real fucking football.
So
this ain't real football.
So where's the line of that? Now this goes back to we need people playing the game. Where's the line?
Then call PI. Call PI then. If we want to go down that road, I'll go down that road. Call PI.
This is tough. Yeah.
Call PI. If we want to do that, I can be a bot too. I know how to do it.
It do be some PIs in Madden this year. It do, like, bad.
Oh yeah,
bad.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You could have a lot of PIs could have happened this year.
They definitely be illegal contacting the shit out of your receivers. In fact, I know you'd be trying to. We'd be trying to illegal contact our damn selves. Okay, let me go run into this guy.
Every time you run in the two slants.
Oh yeah, I'm
best believe on my lurk, I'm trying to bump into one of your dudes and then lurk the other one every time.
Now, I'll be honest. This is where I realize I have about a 90% chance that I'm going to knock my own man 15 yards off of his man and leave both of them wide open. You're good at doing that. I do that. I lead the league in that shit. I try to hit the receiver, but I miss pretty often. And hit my player. That's never good.
Yeah, you were good at that. I was surprised on how good you were at that. You did it every time too.
It's tough. It's tough. It's just depth
Yeah.
perception. I'm gonna get LASIK in the summer here so I can see better. People don't understand. I
Are
really
you
can't
really though?
see.
Are you really? Are you
Yeah,
really?
it's on the to-do list. I mean, taxes are number one right now, but after taxes, we got some concrete work, some LASIK. I also have like 10% hearing in my one ear. I'm getting old, dude. It's happening fast, And honestly, MLB just reminds me every single night that I cannot hit a goddamn 102 mile. If I see 102, there's nothing I could do. That's why I tell you, it's just, I lost. That's it.
Yeah, I don't even play that mode because I'm playing BR where it's easier. So yeah, I can imagine.
No, I ain't no damn easy. I'm still on the same difficulty. It's just a little bit better pitchers. That's all. That's the
Oh,
same shit. It ain't like I'm out here on Hall of Fame or Legend or anything.
yeah.
All right, are you ready to do this trivia? You are. Now hold on. Before I get into this, we gotta talk about, because I talked to everybody else. You like, what's your sports? Because Oklahoma, y'all don't have shit except your
Right.
boy Westbrook, right? For a couple years
Right.
there.
I hated him.
All right. Now, what? So, and then you just decided I'm going to be a Tom Brady fan. That was kind of easy.
Right. Well, no. So no, this is what happened. This is legit what happened. I was 6 years old. This is how I became a
Here it
Boston.
happens. It's always a kid. You had pajamas or something.
Yes, yes. And so I remember I was 6 years old, and there's a network called Nesson, the New England Sports Network, and my parents didn't pay for the good shit, so I could only watch reruns of stuff, not when it was live. Like if the Red Sox played live, I couldn't watch it, but they always did a rerun at 6 a.m. in the morning. I would wake up during the summer at 6 a.m. I'll never forget, a 6-year-old boy. I fell in love with this big green wall in left field. As a kid, I'm like, holy shit, this thing is dope. And
cool.
plus in Oklahoma, we don't have a sports team. So it's like, okay, like I don't have a Major League Baseball team here. Like I'm in love with this fence. And then like I see like people like Pedro Martinez throwing at people's heads. I'm like, oh my God. And I see like all sorts of like this Nomar Garcia-Parra doing this like this thing he always does with his batting gloves. He starts lacing them up. So when I was like an 8-year-old kid, I would act like I was Nomar Garcia-Parra without batting gloves doing this little thing on deck. And I remember, and then I found out about this curse or whatever before they broke it. I was like, oh, I didn't even know there was a curse. This is awesome. I'm like 10 years old. And then they broke it. And then there's a team called the New England Patriots. They end up winning the Super Bowl like during all this. So I'm like, well, why not? So that's actually kind of how it started. I would honestly tell you though, I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a Tom Brady, obviously Dick Rider. I mean, whatever. But like my real team though, probably the Red Sox. The Red Sox is my team. They always will be. I love the Red Sox. And when the Thunder came, obviously, that's all we got. So the Thunder and the Red Sox, I would have to say, are probably my two teams.
So, football, NFL.
Right.
You're a man player. Now we know.
I just love.
Joke has no football. I'm 10
Yeah.
out of 10.
No.
What's your number? If Joke is 0, I'm a 10. What's your number?
No.
Fan or NFL?
I'm a 10. I'm a fan.
Yeah?
I watch every game. I have the pass. Yeah, I watch every game. Fucking every game. I don't. That's why I don't stream on Sunday. And I don't. And sometimes I don't stream on Saturday because I want to watch OU and then Oklahoma State. Like this time of the year sucks. Like as much as the playoffs are coming on for NBA and I watch a lot of hoops. Football. You always make fun of my football takes because I think you don't think I watch, but I watch a little too much. Like every Monday night, every Thursday night, every Sunday night. Yeah, dude, I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
Now,
on
are you
football,
like
for sure.
adopting a team, or you just like I'm just watching whatever?
You know what, man? I don't know what I'm gonna do now that Tom Brady's out of the league. That was kind of like my hoorah, like who I got behind, and I can't root for the Chiefs, even though I think Matt Nagy did a great job over there in Kansas City.
He built that team.
Yeah,
Really?
he did. Like people, yeah, he really did, and then he won Coach of the Year, and then they got rid of him. I love what Nagy's doing, but that's too much of a bandwagon to root for the Chiefs. I don't. I like Jalen Hurts, man. I'm not saying it because I'm talking to you. We've had talks about this. I'm a Hurts guy. I fell in love with Hurts after his first interview as a Sooner. He broke a record, and after the game with Holly Rowe, he literally goes, "We got to get better." And after that interview, I was like, "This is the fucking guy right here." Like he just broke the record at OU for single most whatever. In an interview, he's like, "I got to get with my boys. We got to get right." And I was like, "All right, I'm hooked." Like Jalen Hurts is that guy.
I feel like if you didn't know me, you'd migrate to an Eagle fan to root for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, because I didn't play a lot of video games growing up, but I remember 2K5 was $20, and that's the only game my mom like bought for me that year because Because school teachers are cheap. School teachers, I mean, are cheap. They're cheap and they don't make money in Oklahoma. They're like out of 50 states, they're the 48th, like lowest paid. Like my parents made no money. And so when those $20 games come out, oh my God, I yes, and I
That's what
remember
got
the
me.
2K.
I bought that.
Scott,
That was
hell
$20. Oh yeah,
yeah, hell
that was an
yeah.
easy buy. That was an easy buy.
Oh
NTO
my
was on the
God,
cover. Oh
yeah.
yeah. There you
Uh-huh.
go.
And then I remember who was the running back? Westbrook. I think I remember that team because that's the team
Mm-hmm.
I was using in that game. Yeah, I remember, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like low key a Eagles fan, and that's a good thing, because you get to make fun of Cowboys fans and
Nah,
Dottie and
because
like.
because Eagles fans ruin everything for real, like they do.
What did we do that was wrong?
Come on, dog. You even you know what's bad? You know what you do. That's why you got to hop in the burner and your real account just to get doubled
No,
up. Like
I
it's
only
crazy.
talk to Burner when I live tweet sporting events because nobody want to hear that shit on the main account. When I want to live tweet, we don't do anything bad. We're actually peaceful people, and we have great takes. We don't do it. We don't. We know ball. All right, just think of your other options. Cowboys fans not an option. That's terrible. All right, you're not going to go to like an irrelevant team like the Jaguars or some random ass or the
Yeah.
Chargers. They're irrelevant.
And you know what's sad? I want to like the Niners, but we all know why we
Yeah,
can't.
nobody can like the Niners. In fact, dude, I used to love Niners fans. They were great people. Our boy
Me
GS, Problem's a great fan.
Yep.
He don't really be
Yep.
like, bro, these are good people. Niners fans were good, and then here comes Chakras. And now we all, as a community, hate the Niners. It's actually powerful how powerful that person is that can make an entire community hate one team. Seriously. We never hated that team.
He literally like he trolls all the time and then deleted his Twitter after they lost and like I mean, dude, like it was just bad. But yeah, I can't like the Niners, and I used to love the Niners in Madden 13. That was like my first Madden ever, and I could name you every defensive player on that team. Alden Smith, the Smith brother, or Alden Smith, Justin Smith, a guy named McDonald, Whitner, Goldston. I said Whitner, Goldston. The cornerback that was really fast.
Culliver.
I know. Well, obviously I know Patrick Willis. I know the Brooks guy,
Ahmad
Bowman.
Brooks, Navarro
Yeah,
Bowman,
Ahmad Brooks.
Penn
Oh, I've
State.
already named almost all of them. I'm going as Chris Culliver was a corner. He was the
Culliver,
fastest one on that team.
He was
And
the
then I
97.
said, who was the other guy though? I said Golston. I said Whitner. Those dudes were unreal. But I'm missing another dog though. I just named the whole entire team.
Carlos Rogers.
Carlos Rogers. I just named the whole team. There you go. That team was sick. Like, bro, you could put your controller
remember
down.
that was the year where the computer was blasting the shit out of people, dude.
Yeah,
The computer
I
hit
would click
sticks,
off.
dude. Everybody
That's why I do
had
what I do.
Enforcer, dude. Everybody had
Yeah.
Enforcer in
Bro,
that Madden. They was wow.
And
I was like, damn.
And that's when I used to be a sweat. I'd hit pause. I'd put my lineup where they're on the kickoff team, Whitner, Willis, and I would kick it off and say, "Here we go."
Yeah. So yeah, that was a good year. Well, all right. Well,
Matty
let
Ice
me
just
ask
said,
you this.
hold on.
What do
Matty
I
Ice
say
just
now?
said Sherman. Matty Ice just said Sherman.
He owes the gifted. That's what I've been doing. I've been giving people gift or ban. The people that are sub,
Dude.
there's no more sub. Everybody's in trouble now, for real. You get gift or ban now. We got sub or ban and gift or ban. Crabtree, Moss, Ted Ginn.
Oh, we
Moss
didn't go
out
over
there?
the offense yet. Yeah.
Was
And
Moss
then
out
we
there?
can go over
I know Ted Ginn was out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Moss was out there actually. He was slow as hell too in that game. And then the running backs was Kendall Hunter and Frank Gore.
Davis.
And then Kaepernick came, and then they got rid of Alex Smith, and yeah, good shit. They had a good old line too. That team was just stupid good. And then the Seahawks took over. We could talk about this all day, but yeah.
Those are good times. Now, all right, before I get to this trivia, now, if someone asks you, give me one piece of advice, I want to become a Madden sweat, I want to become the next Skimbo, what's like your first advice you give people when, people approach you with that question or people ask that question towards you? One piece of advice.
Oh, it's something that I really struggled with this year. Don't make excuses. And I would say, like, just continue to learn the game. Like, if something happens, instead of saying it's fluke, try to understand why it happened. And that's something I do every year when people complain about the game. I'm like, well, I know why it happened because that's like what I pride myself on, to find that skill gap. unfortunately this year, like there's just so much bullshit that would happen. I would just, like I said, I would call a corner out on a tight end. He would fall down and then the play's over. He can't even run a route no more on like a 4th down. It happened in like a big game too, stuff I couldn't control. But like, I would just say, stay positive, grind the game, and don't make excuses because I mean you're already separating yourself in the skill gap if you just don't bitch about the game and just find out what's going on. So there you go.
Okay. Now I ask you the same question about streaming. What's the first piece of advice you give somebody about becoming a streamer?
Well, like I said, we talked about earlier, streaming's not the only thing. Try to reach out on other platforms that there are. But when it comes to streaming, and I'm doing it right now because we talk about it on my stream, like I have a good, loyal, like probably 200 to 300 people that watch me every day, right? And they're super loyal. And, a lot of people and then like we talked about, like I took some time off streaming. My sub count's down. Like, we talk about, like, we know it's, like, we see it. But I would say, like, you got to give good energy every time you go live. You got to put on a show. You can't let your numbers affect you. Like, you put up one day and you see you got 40 viewers. Like, dude, just like I say this all the time. Like, my chat knows what I'm saying. Like, man, those 40 people that are rocking with you, give them everything you fucking got. Because, I mean, that's 40 more than a lot of other people out there that are streaming that you don't realize. So, like, don't cheat. Don't be just because your sub count's low or your viewership's low. Don't let that affect your energy. Go out there, have good energy, have good passion, engage with the chat. And even if it's someone that only has 3 or 4 viewers, like you're sitting there, you're talking to them, buckle up. That's gonna be your fucking best friend because they're rocking with you for those 3 or 4 hours. Those 3 or 4 people that are in your chat, those are your boys. And when someone comes along new, try to show them why they should be in there. Like right now, like my Madden numbers, when competitive season's going on, I'm always gonna get 700 to 800 to 1,000, and then soon as competitive season's over, that number goes from 7 to 8 to 3 to 4, like that. All them pro players that sit there and lurk me all day, and I've heard some crazy shit, W. I can't even say the names. I heard they record me, they go watch me and cruise together at night. I've heard about this because I have my VODs off and all that. It's just the craziest stuff. But anyways, like I would say, someone that's starting to stream is just like just keep having good energy. Like don't let the numbers discourage you because then it's just gonna be downhill from there.
At the end of the day, they're watching you play video games. It's pretty fucking cool, honestly, when you think about it. People are watching you play games. That's nuts.
Yeah.
When they can play games themselves.
Yeah.
All right, now I know you're not a smart trivia person. Every time there's been trivia, you've been like, I'm not gonna be good at this. All right.
Yeah.
Now, Nick almost made it to the top. He lost $1 million question. Some people say he was listening to chat more than others. CC full sent like the 3rd question and lost. All right. Skimbo made it like 2,000. Do you have any predictions of what you're gonna do here on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? They're pretty easy questions. For people say they're pretty easy. And you got the chat here.
I'll be like. I kind of told you about this earlier. I'm going through some health stuff. I'm not as smart as I used to be, unfortunately. I want to make it to $1,000 somehow. I will use all my lifelines to get there.
1,000. You want to make it to 1,000? All right. Well,
I will use all my lifelines. I'm ready. I will use all 3 of my lifelines to get there.
All right. Well, you understand how this works. A lot of people just full send and they don't even use their lifelines. They just like.
Oh no. We're gonna try to make the money and go home with at least $1,000. I know how this game works.
All right. Well, you can't go home. That's not an option here. All right. That's we're not just gonna be like, all right, I made 1,000. I'm done. That's just not an option. You'll get booed. You'll get booed by the boys. All right. We got to bet. Does he make 1,000? Does he get 5 questions right with all the lifelines and the chat? That's the bet. Yeah, Matty Ice. We just can't wait to. Matty Ice, I don't know why you think you need to be on every one of my streams. I don't know why. Like, what do you think this is? Like, holy shit. Like, at some point, you guys have your own stream so you can make money. Like, I mean, damn. It's bad enough we played co-op a couple times. Like, damn. He need to be on every stream? Damn. Yo, can I come in and talk while you're playing CFM?
That's your creation, though. Like, that's your guy.
We didn't know he was until you came around.
All
No, for real. Maddie's been here. You've been streaming for what, 3 years? Maddie wasn't Watch's follower for my channel. 3 years. It's going to say that. He's not a 5-year vet. He's not a 6-year vet like the rest of the boys.
He's not a 5-year vet mine.
Because you're not a 5-year vet. He's your max.
He's not even a 2-year vet in mine.
No, he's a max. He's a max. Now Madden, watch me Madden 20. Okay, dude. You should see when Maddie swings he twitches when he swings and his titties jiggle a little bit when he swings on OB.
No, hold on. And does he like kind of flinch when he hits the button?
Oh, I do. Everybody flinches a little bit, but the way he flinches,
I don't do it
crazy,
anymore. But when I first started playing, I did. I can imagine him.
And the way
his titties really jiggle?
Yeah, because the way he lays, like it's like half of the picture is titty. Oh, I got tons of clips. Don't worry. The next montage will have some titty clips in there of the, you know.
I want to watch it. I gotta see this. I have to see this.
And then he said, "Hold up." He said, while we're still doing the bets, he said, "I'm going to be a journalist and go back to school for sports," and they called him Tits Bayless.
And this is where he types, "I'm out."
No, I mean, we're not even saying jokes. They're like, this is just what happened. I'm just doing a recap because I know it was kind of late for a lot of people. And we're like regular time now. It was late for a lot of people. So, I had to recap.
I didn't even know about that. That's kind of crazy. Who started that, though? Like, who was the asshole?
Dude, I can't lie. This is why Maddie's a champ, though. They be killing him. Oh, my God. When he goes on the camera and plays, dude, the jokes fly. Like, bro, it's bad. It's bad.
I can imagine, Debbie. I can imagine.
And it's like 3 a.m. So it's all degenerates up. It's all the nasty toxic people.
And here's the deal. I would never let anyone talk to you like that, Matt. If you can hear me, I would never let my chat do that to you. I just want you to know you can feel safe.
But you understand, like I can't really do nothing because I'm in the middle of the gameplay. We're playing co-op. I'm playing outfield. I gotta stay on my toes. You know how in the infield, outfield, you gotta
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we got to dial in on this game because we suck. Like,
I gotta focus. I can't look at the chat. I don't really be laughing. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. I might repeat it so everybody heard it. Sometimes people don't catch what you, and a lot of people don't have chat up too. A lot of people put you on like the big screen and they just listen. So that's sometimes you got to read the chat out loud. So I might read a joke out loud, and just make sure everybody heard it. But I won't really.
So when's this going down tonight? I'm gonna pop in the stream.
Well, I have to play Vikings CFM playoffs. You're
in the playoffs? You got to play someone good?
I got to play this guy, Pluto.
Is he good? What's he run?
Apparently, Ags. Because, this is back to where nobody has any knockouts or any abilities.
Are you gonna click on and hit the SWAT? Like, are they streak Ags or are they like corner out Ags?
I don't know, but I'm going to play 2-man under and pray that we can just hold him out of the end zone. That's what we're going to do, And
good.
This is one of my problems here. Is that when a pass is so bad and you just like I have to click on and try to pick this, right? Like I have to he's so covered. Like this dude is like my guy is in front of him and I'm like I have to click on it. Caught. Yeah.
Go back to old school. Gotta hit that RB button, that right bumper. Get that strip going.
That's
remember that was the glitch.
I was
Before knockouts, that was the glitch. Click on and start spamming that button.
I still do that all the time. I do that all the time.
Yeah. I don't anymore. I don't.
Second nature because of I think it was Madden 12 or one of the Maddens. It was like actually OP, So, but it's all right. Are you dialed? What's our bets look like? Oh,
I don't know.
63% believe.
All right, I've been known to throw, so.
Here we go, boys. All right, this is the first question. It's on the screen.
Do I get? It's on the screen. Oh, nice.
In the Broadway musical Annie, where does Annie live?
Or finish.
Okay, you're dialed early. Okay, it goes fast after we get this answer.
What do you mean it goes fast?
You got 60 seconds. I'll read these because you're going to be a little bit delayed. So, according to popular phrase, a person holding back a surprise resource is hiding what up his sleeve?
Ace.
Okay, hot. Here we go.
Yes.
Which of these terms refers to high-ranking officials in the military? Top brass, top steel, top bronze, or top hat and tails?
This is where I want to cheat and read the chat, but I'm not going to. I don't know this.
Oh, you gotta know this one. You got lifelines. Remember, you got 60 seconds. I mean, you can read the chat.
I mean,
the chat is helpers.
I'm not reading the chat. I'm really not reading the chat.
30 seconds. You can use lifelines.
I don't want to use a lifeline this early.
If I lose, I lose. You got 25 seconds.
I think I feel like it is A, but I really want to say I really want to say C for some reason.
15 seconds.
Hey. Just do brass. Just fuck it. Do brass.
All right, you got that right.
Fucking go.
All right, number 4. According to popular saying, as ye sow, so shall we what? Weed, eat, reap, grow.
I need the chat.
This is
I don't
pretty
know
easy.
this.
No, this is easy.
I just don't know it. I don't know it.
All right, did you ever hear someone say you blank what you sow?
No.
What are they doing in Oklahoma? What are we doing here?
I mean, dude, like I'm like country, but I'm not. I need help from the yeah, I need help. I need a lifeline.
You need a lifeline? Which one you want? 50-50? Do you want to ask the poll or do you want to call a friend?
I want to ask Matty Ice.
I mean, you got 20. All right, we're going to ask a friend here or we're going to call a random person. Your friend says, my first instinct is to go with D, but I'm not an expert on the subject. Just think you could definitely answer. Just take your time and then go through.
Bro, have they ever been wrong?
You got 9 seconds. I can't believe you don't know this one. This is an L.
I'm reading the chat. They're all saying reap. Go reap. Just say reap. Do reap. Hurry.
Yeah, all right.
Dude, dude, the lifeline tried to fucking what?
The lifeline. They're not always right. Nah, but maybe your friend's not. All right, next question. By definition, an injury. This is for the bets. By definition, an injury referred to as an RSI results from what? Relentless sound, repetitive stress, related surgery, reflected sunlight. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know this one. RSI, I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna use all my lifelines. I'm not reading the chat, bro. I want to use a lifeline. I want to use the not the 50-50, not the 50-50.
The poll. All right, poll.
The poll.
They say B. Chat says B.
I gotta go B.
The poll says B.
I'm gonna have to trust the poll. Yep,
repetitive stress.
I have to.
Repetitive stress injury. RSI makes sense. Okay. W, guess the 1,000. Can a mod pay out a bet and get the next one going for 32? According to the title of the early 1900s novel by Kate Douglas Wiggin, where's Rebecca Randall from? Hoggett's Farm, Sunnybrook Farm, Cold Comfort Farm, or Riverboro Farm? You have a 50-50 left.
50-50, dog. 50-50, bro.
All right, we're down to Hoggett's Farm or Sunnybrook Farm.
According to the title of the early 1900s novel by Kate Douglas Wiggin, where's Rebecca Randall from? Sunnybrook Farm or the Hog? I really want to say Sunnybrook because it just sounds better.
Chat says B. That's what chat says.
I say B. Sunnybrook sounds right.
Okay. Ooh, okay. We're hot. Next question.
This is all we got.
We don't have no lifelines. Which of the following is not the heading of a daily section in the newspaper USA Today? Money, life, personals, or sports? Ooh.
Do you read the newspaper? Do you know this?
I don't know the answer. I would assume money and sports are locked. I don't know. Which one.
Obviously.
Yeah. Life sounds stupid, but then like personals and life sound like the same section. You don't know which one.
I really want to say personals.
It's not one.
Yeah.
I used to work there. Of course, we have a fucking USA Today worker in the chat. Of course.
Dude, is there really?
Yeah,
right, I'm really not trying to cheat. I'm gonna say personal.
Bro, the chat is here for help.
Oh, are they really? I thought I was
yeah.
Oh shit! Let's go, chat. All right, I'm right.
That's how Nick made it all the way up the top.
Oh shit! All right, chat. I need the chat. Let's go. Come on. I need y'all. We have no lifeline.
By definition, which of the following might be portrayed in a still life painting? Bicycle race, singing choir, fruit basket, or a flowing river?
I really want to say, I want the chat to type. I know what I think it is.
This should be. I mean, this is like common sense.
Of course, it's easy for you. Of course, it's easy. What do you say? Hey, you're part of the chat, right? Can you answer this, please?
Well,
Can you
just read it. Still. Which one is still?
A flowing river is still. It never moves.
All right.
Fruit basket, go. Is it not fruit basket? It's got to be fruit basket.
What U.S. lake was created by the Hoover Dam? Ooh. Lake Havasu, Lake Powell, Lake Livingston, or Lake Mead?
I just like the name Havosu or Havosu.
It's not that. I don't think it's that. I think.
But I like that name. Mead. Everyone's saying Mead.
I know
Damn,
Mead.
the chat. I didn't know the chat was gonna make me a millionaire. I would have been reading the chat the whole time. Mead.
Lake Mead. Now I know that from CSI. They had a lot of Lake Mead episodes in Vegas. I know the Hoover
Hold
Dam's
up.
in Vegas.
Hold up. You a CSI guy, Deb?
I mean, I get bored. It's a good show to put on and not pay attention to. Which of the religions is based on writings attributed to the 6th century BC Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu? Taoism, Confucianism, Buddhism, or Shintoism? This might be the end of the road. I know the chat don't know none of this. The chat already put out 3 different answers.
This is bad. You give it time. Some of them are looking it up.
Chat is going. Somebody.
Dude, they're all this. I think we lose. I think we lose here.
The chat is Taoism or Buddhism.
Dog. Fucking dog.
You got A or B. You on a hot seat. You got to make a decision. Or C.
Taoism. Just do Taoism. Just do it. Just do it. Do it.
Taoism for the win?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, that's right. Oh my goodness.
Yo, these fuckers like Chimmy and Yukon.
They're so wrong.
Bro.
In 1999 vote, Americans choose what TV show to appear in a series of stamps commemorating the 1980s. The Miami Vice, LA Law, Cheers, or The Cosby Show? It's a series of stamps. These are good shows. I can't lie. Crazy different answers from the chat.
Everyone's saying Cheers though, like off
They
rip.
are,
Is
they
it
are
because
starting
that's
rapid
like
fire and Cheers.
it's gotta be Cheers? I mean, everyone's saying Cheers. I mean, everyone loved Cheers.
Everyone loved Cheers. Everybody loved Cosby Show in that time period.
They can't. Well, they're not gonna do Cosby, and you know, what I mean, they're not gonna do him.
Is he canceled? They don't put his answer.
Yeah,
on?
I mean,
Okay.
yeah. It's gotta be C. C's my answer.
Oh, it's Cosby. There it is. See? All over. It was a good run. It was a good run, boys.
You know what's mad? You know what pisses me off? This dude named Dottie didn't name a single one. He went crazy with C as soon as that question. I believed him. Because Dottie is spamming C and he hasn't guessed all stream.
Yeah. So he was confident on that one. It was like the 13th question. He was finally confident in the answer. He's old enough to be. He probably voted for the stamp.
Mallow said what I thought. Look what Dottie's old ass said. Gotta be C.
That's tough. It'd be the ones you trust, the ones that let you down for the most part. You gotta remember that. That's what happens.
That's crazy. I feel like I just got set up.
Dude, the chat is not the chat without the chat. They're here to laugh at the end of the day, they're here to laugh at you most of the time, the chat. That's why we need a Matty Ice to deflect some of the laughter. Honestly, it's really good. You know, there's only so many ball jokes. You need to get a chin joke.
You know what, though? Matty Ice, he really did replace Steve-O pretty quick with Calvin, though. Pretty wild right there.
I don't know. Steve-O must have made a girl. He must have. Like, there's nothing in your life.
Steve-O gotta have a girl right now.
Yeah, Steve-O is just clapping cheeks for him to disappear this wildly, you know? Even if he was doing schoolwork, he would still have, like, the stream up, you know, doing work or something, you know? But to disappear this fast, oh, my God, he's definitely clapping cheeks.
I remember when you used to do I remember when you did your MLB The Show tournament last year, and he was out working Matty Ice, getting people organized. Steve-O was making that extra money, and he gone now.
He definitely got a girl. Do you think that'll ever happen to Matty, where he disappears from Twitch?
No.
No?
No.
He'll be here. He's a good guy.
He's gonna stay, and as long as he's cooking on the cafeteria, he's gonna stay.
He ain't seen you the picture of him with the hairnet yet?
I've seen it all.
Oh, at least one titty will always be. Check IG. No, you're blocked on IG. There's no way I.
He's blocked on my IG too because he sends
way,
too many selfies. He sends too many selfies.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? Like what are we doing? I'm a 35-year-old man. All right, I don't need to see this fat kid cooking freaking chicken nuggets at the cafeteria. Okay, I don't need to see that. That's just not on my wish list to have popping, you know, on Instagram. Maybe on like Twitter or like Twitch or something, you know. But on Instagram, no, dude. That's like I see my family and like shit, like friends from high school and shit, you know, family, you know, and I don't want to see this.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like maybe a girl hit my DM or something. It's fucking Matty Ice sending a selfie.
Yeah, I could only imagine, like, if you're worried about like girls on there too, and you see Matty Ice pop up, holy shit, you know, like, dude, that's tragic. That's actually like, dude, that's like a, you might owe some gifted over there, honestly.
Oh, because you see it's from IG. You're like, hold up, what baddie is this? It's fucking Matty Ice in the cafeteria.
Check out my style. It's nasty. It's just nasty comments. All right, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about to the boys?
Appreciate you having me on.
Of course, I appreciate you doing it. It was the 200th episode, you know, so we had to do something important.
Look forward to playing Madden next year. I'm dedicating my life to Madden. I'm going to be 32 years old in October, and I'm going to dedicate my fucking life to Madden. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to go all in, and we'll see how that ends up. So hopefully the game's good. Hopefully the format's good, and we have a good year, and it's fun. Hopefully they do. I do like how the format is, but I hope they do mix up something to make it fresh. You know, it's always good when something's new. Like, even if you don't agree with it, it's always good to, like, just have a wrinkle.
You said, ooh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, you need that little ooh factor, that new factor.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Weekend League comes back. I see a lot of people, like, say, do you wish Weekend League, if it comes back, on Madden? To be honest, I could care less if it's all pro or all Madden. Just have us a mode like Weekend League that we can grind for, and I feel like that would be a huge...
for something, you know, like that.
I always tell people when I complain about Madden, like, okay, what can we control and what can we not control? Like them Madden Weekend League, like, they can control that easy. Like, that's an easy control thing. Like, abilities, like, people didn't like last year's Escape Artist. That could have been an easy control thing. You could have either made it too much AP to use, or you could have made it the max value and no one else could have had another ability. Like, as much as OP Escape Artist was, you could have done something. And then, like, with this Madden, I say it all the time, like, what was I going to do to make my wide receivers not bump? What was I going to do for the ball to not hit off my back? What was I going to do for the ball not going through my hands? What was I going to not do for my tight end to get clipped at the line? Like, there was so much stuff this year that I didn't like about the game that I felt like there's nothing EA could have done. Like, no control of it. And I feel like the last couple years, every complaint that I feel like that we had in the game was a control complaint. Like, people ran the ball too much in Madden 20. Don't touch Enforcer. If Enforcer still caused fumbles, don't think people would have ran the ball that much. They would have had to pass it. So, you know, that's always my take on, like, things like, and that's why I never cared about gameplay that much. I always cared about, like, the MCS because that's like a control thing. Because, like, they can fix the format, they can fix Weekend League, they can do shit like that. So I just hope like things that are uncontrollable in Madden, like it was this year, freeform pass, all the stuff I just said. I hope there's just a little bit more control in Madden next year. That's how I want to end it. So there you go.
Well, I want you to, before we get off here, we got to check in with Steve-O and see what he's working with right now as I bring him up on the screen.
Now, hold up. He hitting that?
I mean, he just is his life path compared to Maddie's life path right now is actually, like, different. They're different forks in the road. I didn't think we'd get there, but you know.
Dog, you know, in like 10 years, like, Steve-O better already marry her. Like, 10 years, that girl might actually not, like, come on, Steve-O, you got to cuff that. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, he's
Steve-O doing good for himself.
Yeah, he's the new Mallow.
That right there's the type. That's the type of girl right there in 10 years that's gonna be a smoke show. Little cute thing now, like, you know, the boys like want to take her on a date, whatever. But, like, Steve-O better cuff that on God, bro.
Mm-hmm. Or just don't pull out, dude. Don't pull out, and you'll cuff her for real. You know.
Is that really what you're telling your chat right now, though?
I mean, dude, like,
there's some people in your chat that actually think like that's what they need to do.
I mean, drastic times call for drastic measures, boys. You know?
No.
I mean...
No.
I mean,
So someone gonna do that tonight now because of you.
boys, trust me, man. Everybody in the chat can attest that, you know, the baby is the best thing that happens to you. All right, boys?
Bro, yeah, but then you got some people in here saying, he ain't wrong. He not wrong. God, what have you done to this channel, bro? What have you done to these people? How are some of these people actually saying he's speaking facts? Like, what?
Dude.
Like, that's your fucking chat right now.
No.
Method.
The method. Yeah, that's it. That's the method. Listen, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know?
What?
You know?
Steve-O's 17 years old.
He's not that young. He's in an old military
17.
outfit. He's in a military outfit.
He left early.
Damn, where'd it go? Damn, I deleted it. Damn. Yeah, he's in like the Marines, dude. He might go overseas for 8 years. You know what happens when they go overseas to the good looking chick?
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta make your decision, dude. All right.
So you saying he needs to have a kid before he goes?
I don't know though, cause now I can be serious. I don't know how you military guys do it and leave your family for that long, because you know that's real men. We're just, you know, I just play video games, so you know, all jokes aside, those dudes are different. So I don't know. It's for him to decide.
Well, Steve-O's doing good for himself. Maddie needs to take notes.
Yeah, the fat mallow needs to figure it out, dude. The fat mallow got to figure it out. Oh, my bad, Kev. I'm sorry. Thanks for checking in the first time in the chat. Yeah, I'm sorry. He can't be a Marine.
Kev's trying to check the chat right now.
Isn't like ROTC? Isn't that like the baby Marines? Isn't that like
ROTC? That's like high school shit, right?
Yeah, like isn't that like on the road to being like a damn military man? Isn't that like you know? Isn't that respectable? Isn't that respectable as a military man to see kids like that?
I remember them kids in high school did that ROTC shit like at 7 a.m.
Yeah. God bless him.
Shit. Damn. Good times.
Maddie's tits dripping in sweat as we speak. Okay. This is when I start going bed. Start going bed.
Well, I appreciate you having me on again, dog. I'm going to go to
buddy.
bed. I'm getting old. Yeah, I'm getting old. I'm going to bed.
Well, you know, you got to check out CFM playoffs. You know, we're going to be an absolute sweat fest here at Stopping Ags with our boys. Our boy
I'll be
Greg
in the chat.
Jr.
I'll be in the chat rooting you on.
Our boy Greg Jr. is going to have his hands full. I'll tell you that. His 64 zone might not get it done, but, you know, he'll be in position to make some tackles. At the end of the day, man, if you can make some tackles, you can play some defense. That's how I feel. You know, you're not going to be able to cover everybody, but as long as you tackle, you know, you'll be all right. That's what I tell these kids, you know. Just tackle. Keep them out the end zone. That's the goals.
I feel like there was another phrase we used to say that was stupid, but I can't think of it. Oh, well.
The fat mallow? Man. Fat mallow?
Where's this fat mallow coming from? That's that?
That's who Matty is. He's the fat mallow. Yeah.
What?
They're starting to get real tight now because they're both Canadian.
Right.
Yeah. So like, and then Matty was like, "Yo, I really realized like we're a lot alike. We like hockey. We're Canadian. You know, I'm the fat mallow." It's like, and then chat was like, I mean, you're kind of right. They go out to the club.
Did Matty Ice really call himself
yes.
Fat Mallow?
And then chat was
Matty
like,
Ice, before I leave, Matty Ice confirmed this. Let me read the chat. Matty Ice, are you serious?
He said this. He said we're both Canadian.
I'm reading the chat right now. If he says yeah, I'm out. If he says yes, like I'm literally just gonna leave.
I did. There it is. Because I'm speaking facts.
All right, you have a good one, bro.
The fat mallow. GG's. Thank you, boy.
I'm out.
There it is. The fat mallow. I told y'all. That is the fat mallow. That's how he gets down, dude. That's how the fat mallow gets down. Oh. We got 6 on bear requests. Let's go. Change your Twitch name, Maddie, to Fat Mallow Ice. All right, here we go. Unbans. This guy, dude. Board socks. Dude, I can't lie. Lou with a weak unban request. This is a weak unban request right here. It's weak. Tits Bayless. I don't even remember how like people get like. What was this? After the World Series? 11-4? He don't even say nothing in the chat, this guy. Oh my god. Allen. Allen does have to sub. He has to. It's a rule. Hits route. Or he's just banned. Consistently banned. But he'll never get perma banned. Honestly, I have no idea why I got banned. I never said anything crazy. I don't know what's going on. Soft ban. Soft ban for the boys. Soft ban. Soft ban. Alright, boys. This was the Podski. I'm glad you guys kicked it. I'm glad you guys kicked it. W. Let me know who I need to get on the podcast next. Who else needs to be here? You know, who else do you guys want to hear from? In the Madden community, or the MLB community, or any community. We had Maddie on already. Maddie will go again. Okay, dude. Dimu. We didn't have Fat Mellow. Okay. Gunsky. Okay. The Fox. We'll definitely get the Fox on here. I'll ask him before Madden comes out for sure. Joe Bruin. Cerebral. Well, I really try to focus on building my players. You know, when I play the Panthers, I like to put up 80 points. And once the score gets really out of hand, I go ahead and focus on throwing to the same player and over so he gets a breakout game. How about, dude, we'll bring some CFM guys on. We'll talk CFM. We will. The whole CFM. Bro, the CFM league is mean to me. I don't know why, like, the CFM is they're actually mean to me, you know. I don't do anything. Popular Stranger, Farrells. Okay, the boys. The Bears collusion was nuts. It really was when you think about it, but we'll get to it. All right, boys. Well, this was episode 200. We got 200 podcasts, boys. We've stayed consistent. We've grinded. I'm trying to improve the content of the show with viewers, guests, interactions. You can put ! podcast in the chat. It has its own YouTube channel. I'm trying to put out more shorts, more quick content rather than these 2-hour shows. You guys can get a quick little snippet of the interview. I'm trying to do more. My table is pretty full right now, so I try to. The toughest thing is I have to like watch it back to find like, okay, what's a good clip, you know? And you know my time is. I'm trying to fix my time properly here, boys. So doing what I can. The best Madden show by a mile, Aladdin. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, there's not that many Madden shows, but I'll take it. You know, I will take it. Sherm Sticky. I can't lie. He made Madden cool to me. He made me want to play Madden. I can't lie. I don't even think I was a kid. I was probably like 16, 17 maybe. I was like, okay. This shit is cool. All right, boys. This was 200.